Good numbing. Hello YouTube and welcome back to session 11 of the Caligula effect Overdose, where today our main objective is our hunt down of Thorn, and hopefully, because we've still got an event we never triggered with Thorn, and I don't think we can, it's not there. We've still got an event we need to trigger with Thorn at some point, and hopefully we can get the golden ending. I think we've done enough for it anyway, to be fair, because I think the thing that determines it is what involves EG, is getting EG banished, and because we did get him banished, we were on that path, but I don't know for certain. And because I don't know for certain, I'm hesitant. But yeah, Thorn still will not hang out with us. We need one more interaction. Because everyone else we managed to finish. But that being said, I don't know if this is the final dungeon of the game or whether we've got more afterwards. We're just going to kind of dive in and ride it out and see how it goes. It looks pretty fancy, it looks pretty like finale-esque, but we won't know until we really start. So let's go into the Corridor of Lament. It even sounds kind of final dungeon-y, doesn't it? As always, remember to like and subscribe, it genuinely really helps this channel grow. And in the description of every stream, you can find my Twitter and Patreon if you feel so inclined. But that being said, let us dive straight back into the madness. This is the Grand, Gurgnol. Why is it constructed in such a way that something could pop out and scare you at any second? I hear the owner of this place was a bit of an oddball. He used to put on horror and splatter plays like the ones in Paris. That just makes me even more terrified. Don't get mad at me. Ichika Saotome, was it? Did she like these kinds of places? Ichika frequently performed live here. She was really into indie bands. We didn't even have virtual dolls back then. She would have definitely been into them if she were here now. Oh jeez, here we are. This melody. It's Thorn's song. This is the song we heard, the Landmark Tower. There's no doubt she's here. Are you okay, Shogo-senpai? You can wait here if you... No, it's okay. I just want to make sure that she's actually the ghost of Ichika. Alright then, let's go. We have to do whatever it takes to stop Mew and Thorn. We have to at least avoid a major catastrophe. You're right. There's an enemy visit? No, so 25, you are not worth my time. We're so close to level 50 and nabbing that trophy. Oh, there's a collectible like right in front of us. It's a strange statue with a head of an unusual animal and a reptilian body. There's a plaque next to it that says, an evil god, if you scold it, your wish will come true. It's defaced with black marker. You're not worth the hassle. Oh, what's this door? Cold Feet Elope. 79. Oh. No, we'll leave that. Wait, where's Perfectionist out of curiosity? Where's that hiding? Where's it? That's in the 4th floor of the main building. Okay, so back in the opening dungeon. I mean, fitting enough. You always like hide the hardest secret in the opening area. 43, that sounds about more right. But if you haven't checked the schedule yet, my general intention for this week is get this game done, because I think if we don't finish it today, we'll finish it tomorrow. It does feel like we're like right at that last cusp. But then carry on with the Resident Evil journey. I hesitate to say marathon because, you know, I've taken like 3-4 months off of it since RE3. But we're going to try and cover Code Veronica, which I've never played, so I have no idea what I'm in for. I know it's considered one of the weaker ones in the series, but it's not RE0, so I'll take it, you know? But it's because I want to, if we get it done next weekend, which is what I'm aiming for, to let it lean straight into RE4 Classic. I won't be covering RE4 Remake when it comes out, just because it comes out the exact same day as Atelier Ryza 3, and my priorities are on that more than RE4, unfortunately. Like, if it came out in February, then yeah, I would have tried to squeeze it in, but as it stands, then the breaks, unfortunately. But I do want to cover RE4 Classic. I said I wanted RE4 Classic covered on my channel before Remake came out, so when I eventually do cover Remake, we've got a comparison. Well, I still mean that, so yeah, next week... Of course, I didn't even read Genocide Spread. Next week, I will try and get RE4 Classic as well. And I mean, next week, I mean, obviously, I count this week as starting Sunday because it is the start of the week. So I'm saying, like, next Sunday onwards, whenever we get Code Veronica X finished. Because I don't know how long that game will be, because it's not like... Like, RE1 is obviously RE1, it's the original. And in all of its charms and beauties, it is a shorter-ish game. RE2 and 3, like both those remakes, are so much more modernized that there's like more of a free flow in the progression, so they don't take as long to find your way through it, even in the longer games. Code V is both, you know, not the original, and isn't like a remake that came later, so it will probably still be more maze-like and have some of the... I hesitate to say jank because the RE1 remake was brilliant, but jank in that sense that the older REs had, that might make me... it might take me a while to get through is what I'm getting at. It might take more than the usual, like, 1 to 2 streams that we've been having with RE games. And if that's the case, so be it. Like I said, that's why I've given it a 3-day slot. I'd be very surprised if it takes us any longer than 3 streams, but we'll figure it out. But it also means I need to go back to the RE1 mentality in that game, or like conserving ammo as much as possible, because I've been told countless times by people that some of the boss fights in Code V can really screw you over and kind of like deadlock you a little bit if you have low ammo. Just because of the nature of how they're designed. Like, they're not, they don't have as many like loopholes to kind of save your butt, so to speak. Very complicated live house. It wasn't actually destructive before, but it's been recreated pretty well. Did you come often too, Shogo-senpai? It was a long time ago. Hey, pay attention, let's go. Can I... Now, I want to see if I can ask about this. Oh, I can just say we have to stop Thorn. Yeah, for her to destroy the real world, it's more than ridiculous. She said that she doesn't mind if Mobius gets destroyed too. What a foolish girl. Ichika, why? Yeah. But in our post RE4, in terms of like this Resident Evil journey, I don't want to leave 5 and 6 waiting. It's not that I like don't like either of those games. Well, I say that 6 is RE6, but it's more just like RE4 is such like a pinnacle game, so to speak, that then going straight from that to 5 and 6, it will be noticeable. I'm not on the same train as most people. I don't hate 6 anywhere near as much as most people do. I have problems with it. The game is overinflated with content and tries a little too hard sometimes to get your attention with everything it does. But I still kind of admire the absurdity of what they were going for and admire the execution here and there. Keyword here and there because not everything worked out beautifully. But I still like parts of it. If I can get someone to join me on that journey for RE5 and 6 because they are co-opable, I will, but no promises. Two chests? You're not guarding both of them, are you, level 44? Because that's kind of a low level to be guarding these. So I don't think that level 44 would die from that one. I keep on forgetting, like, my whole party is above... Well, Zero is on 44, I suppose, but, like, my whole party is growing up that level. Okay, they were guarding those two. That seems a bit too generous. Oh, no. Uh-oh. We knew that was going to happen eventually. How many we got? Oh, we'll have to be in items, won't it? I was going to say, can I just throw them out from here? Hang on. Wow, the ones I give the extra party members are kind of bad. I just noticed like Kushinashi, like all the musicians are way down the bottom. Oh, I wish I could hold X or like hold up and something like that, make it so it just scroll up automatically instead of doing this. There we go. God, at least the music for this area is great. I have mixed feelings on Thorn as a character, but at least the theme's good. The reason why I say mixed feelings is because they gave her a lot of setup just for her end goal to be destroy the world. You know? And I know like this game obviously isn't Persona, even though it does take inspiration from it. But if you are going to take inspiration from Persona, I am going to have a degree of expectations when it comes to some of the villains. And I think I can get away with saying that because although it's kind of hit and miss for some of the villains in this game, the ones that hit do genuinely hit pretty well. I really enjoyed Kushinashi as an antagonist. I really enjoy Wicked as antagonist for different reasons. Kushinashi is because you can relate and understand her. Wicked because she's completely deranged. I just enjoy those kind of characters, but I also like I like how they handled it. I like how Sweet Pea is genuinely actually kind of kind and middle-roading and honest instead of trying to just be, you know, the ones trying to stop the people and all that stuff. I like that Shonen Doll is actually just kind of really shy, and a lot of what he does is just to try and get people to leave him alone. But then on the other side of it, like, Thorn is just... She wants to die, and she wants to make the world that she's alive in now the real one, and all this other shit. I'm just like, okay. Stork is just a creep. There's no two way around it. Oh, actually, let's get rid of you because you got the shield. And don't get me wrong, like, it's not just the villains that have a couple missed marks here. Yuji is the biggest waste in this game. By far. And I know it's because it's tied to golden ending stuff, but it doesn't change the fact, like, they could have done more of him. Can my team, like, kill the baddie, please? Why do I have to... Come on. What level actually is the backup party? 42. Oh yeah, because Suzuno I used for a little bit longer, so 42 makes sense, but yeah. I think that's... I'll try and save my final thoughts when we get there, because we've probably still got a little bit to go. But I think that's the biggest thing I hope the sequel addresses, is that too many of the characters feel like gimmicky or one use in this game. And so I don't want them in my party. I want a party that has like a good synergy, and not just be a bunch of gimmicks. Did the picture just move? Were you kidding, right? Tell the truth, look, right there. Let's keep going. Can I address that? Ah. Oh, of course we killed that last enemy. Oh, I got interrupted. You guys better... Of course not. I was gonna say, you guys better actually get the kill. Oh, come on. 95% accurate. Come on. 95% my ass. That's for the rest of the Resident Evil games. Like, obviously, we're going to cover 4 Remake at some point. We're going to cover... like, all the rest of the series, like 5, 6, 7, and 8. Or 7 and Village. Why is there so many exclamation... Oh, is that the Mew room? So if we approach it and it's a door, it's the Mew room. That's why I'm just beelining for it quick. Oh, we can get this. It doesn't look like it. Look at like the outline of the wall. It's a good thing we're over leveled, because we can just run through and double check this, and then we can just work our way back through it. Oh jeez, I nearly ran head first into that though. That would have been fatal. Yeah, just means like, oh, it's a good thing we're over leveled and nothing can stop us. Immediately ran into like something twice our level. But there are a lot of treasures here. Yeah, the only reason why I'm not that fussed about having to do a second playthrough for platinuming is literally what you're seeing right here. It's like it feels like once you get into like a decent rhythm, you can just kind of speedrun through most of this game. No, that looks important, damn it. There's a trophy for finding all the optional Mew scenes, which is why I'm trying to... Because I still am paranoid that I might have missed one in the theme park, the temple area. Oh, you're level 45, yeah sure. Oh, but they saw us anyway. Hello, one man, hope you're doing well. We're working through Thorn's maze. I've gone so far away from the next level. We're another 13,000 for level 50. Jesus, they make you work for it. We're in the come shoot us baddest. Yeah. Oi. Good. Where's this lead? East. What down here? 45 and just a chest on its own. You know what, I'll fight you. Oh, there's a collectible behind you as well, so yeah, I need to. I don't actually know if the collectible's tied to a trophy. I think it is, but the reason why I say I think is that there's one trophy that the description for it, like, I don't think it's translated wrong, it just doesn't read sense enough, and I think it's to do with this, but I'm not sure. If it is to do with this, then I assume it's just get all of them, but because I'm just not sure enough, you know? Told me the guitarist snapped the strings during a show, the guitar looks loved. The only trophy that's like a complete, I have no idea what it's about though, is that there's a trophy that says solve the mystery of class 21. And I think that's through doing side quests. I think there's a specific side quest you can unlock by, you know, helping out people. What level are these freaks? 95! Oh, pass! Oh, that's a dead end. Alright, let's go check out this other area before we head up. Using a guide. No, I will be... If I'm missing trophies at the end, my second, like, speedrun playthrough that I'll be doing off stream, I'll look it up for that. Oh, I'll fight these guys for it. The only thing I'm interested in trying to get on this playthrough is, gold ending. Which I think we've got because of what happened to EG. Like, I don't know for sure, all they said in the golden ending is, you know, like, do both sides and max out everyone's friendships. And the only person we can't max out right now... We're gonna die! Their enemies are just comboing. The only character we haven't maxed out is, Thorn. But then I think we can't deliberately. I think that's, like, you're supposed to not be able to. Actually, let's get a flat. Yeah, I'm well aware, dude. I've been in the business of doing them for long enough. There's a reason why some games I don't bother platinuming. Hey, you guys have got this, right? You guys can kill a level... Please, guys! It's level 44! I don't know. Fuck it, I'm just gonna do that. Get this guy out of here. It's one of the things that I'm kind of like, not dreading with whenever I eventually get the Trails of Cold Steel, but just wary of, that if you want the platinum for those games, you very much have to have a guide on standby. Either that, or you're going to be wasting a hell of a lot of time experimenting with every single little thing. So what's the point of this area? I mean, I assume the plot's going to take us over here and I'm just here early, but still. I'm just exploring and running around. But then equally, also, I'm not the person that if I start a new game, I even if I enjoy it a little bit, I have to go after the platinum sort of thing. I'm very much a... What's this door? Wish for nothing. It's only if I really love a game and the trophy list is reasonable. So I was to make... I thought it was Griffin Tiny. Yeah. Wish for nothing, 92. Oh, okay. That's why there's a save point right outside of it. It's like, yeah, if you're diving in, you're probably going to fight a super boss. You don't, but Cold Steel becomes one of your faves. Yeah, I hope so too, from what I've heard about it. Not just for Cold Steel, but just to try and get me into the Trails series to begin with. Because I've never tried any of the Trails game full stop. Whether it's Trails of the Sky, whether it's just Cold Steel games, you know, whether it's Azure, or whatever that, or Reverie. I think Reverie's the new one that's coming out. But I've always wanted to try and give that series a fair shot, in the same way I wanted to give Saga a fair shot. Unfortunately, it didn't work out with Saga, as we know, but still. Yeah, and I've had a few people message me about Saga, actually talking about it, like after my stream I did, like saying like if there was another one I would be at least willing to give it another shot. And a lot of them I appreciate were very honest and just saying, look, the idea of how you level up in those games is pretty similar in almost every single entry, so if you're not going to vibe with it, even the better games, you're probably not going to enjoy that much. And so I kind of appreciate that even the the more dedicated Saga fans kind of went, look, yeah, these games are kind of like this. If you're not into them, none of them are going to do them for you. It's like, oh, okay, so yeah. Reminds me of classic Final Fantasy sprite designs. Azure is something I'm looking forward to, though. Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of sprite design Final Fantasies, when on earth are the Pixel remasters coming out on console? Also, there's two exits to this room. There's south, and then there's that one in the corner. Okay, so this is just this side of here. From the opening room. So where's the other one take us? Because and the reason why I bring it up is because there's only so many months in, you know, spring, and I would have thought they'd want to try and get it out sooner rather than later, because making a console port or not, that's still, you know, a release that you know cost money to put together to make happen. You don't want it to then just get completely buried because Final Fantasy 16 comes out in June. And it's a lesson that Square really needs to start learning. Because the end of last year, where they had something like 8 releases. Strong Power's giving this door sealed up tight. I think we can move past until we find the source. Oh, okay. They had 8 releases from like third parties or whatever, but just releases under them in the span of 2 months. And so some of them just got buried. Some of them just got swept up by the tide of the other releases that people were more interested in. And it's like they need to learn real quick that that's not good. Having like 8 releases in a small time span, although it sounds exciting at face value, it's not good for infighting in competition. JRPG since outside NEPs, that's how important the series is to me, and that's badass. That's the ultimate thing. Even if a series ends up not being for me, like if I end up trying it and just not vibing with it, I'll still give it a fair go. If it's on the sub goals, I'm giving it a fair shot, you know? I'm not going to do like one stream and like, and then leave it. But even if it ends up not being for me for whatever reason, that doesn't mean I don't want it to like not be for someone else. I still want people to, you know, love it and want more of it and all that stuff. It's the same with the Saga series. That series is going to keep on doing, you know, just fine as it is without me. Without me. I'm happy for the people that love that series. Because it's something for them. Everyone needs that something for them. And if something takes a specific itch, then brilliant. Like right now, this game's like scratching a very specific itch. Even if this game, in a lot of ways, is discount Persona, it does a lot of things in its own way that are just charming enough to keep me invested. And I'm insanely excited to try out the sequel. Obviously my schedule isn't finalized, but my general idea that I'm thinking of right now, because of how much I want to play this sequel when we're done with this, is going to be this, Riser 3, then Caligula 2, then Ireland. I'll decide as we go, because I don't know how long the Ireland games are in comparison. Okay. Compared, like, because obviously, like, the mysterious games aren't as long as the secret games, but on average. I say that, like, Lydia and Sudi was pretty damn long, but you know what I mean. So it's like, it's things like that. I'm like, is it the same going backwards? Is each Dusk game slightly shorter than what the Mysterious were? Are the Ireland games slightly shorter than what the Dusks are, you know? If that ends up being the case, then yeah, like, Ireland, we'll see when we go to it. If Ireland games end up being kind of short, then maybe we'll do the Ireland games first. But I'll figure that out when we get to it. Because I know, like, I saw something saying, like, with Atelier Marie, with that remake coming up, is that if you know what you're doing in Atelier Marie, you can get that game done insanely quick, on, like, even on a casual playthrough. If you know where you're going, you can get that game done in under 10 hours. I'm like, oh, right, yeah. Late 90s Atelier, when they were still getting their feet wet, I suppose that makes sense. On Hedwig, doesn't work for show. And speaking of Atelier Marie, I'm kind of excited that there's going to basically be 3 versions of the game to play in one package if you get the digital deluxe. Because in the standard release, you're going to have unlimited play mode and, oh, well, I can't remember if they called it classic mode or time mode or what, but you're going to have, it's still remake, but it's going to be, you know, with the traditional time limit, what sort of thing. But then on top of that, if you have the deluxe edition, it's straight up just got the first officially localized version of the original Atelier Marie Plus. So you've got kind of like a triple dip. When it comes to that, I'm going to get the deluxe edition regardless, because I've yet to not for an Atelier game. But when we do it, what I'll probably do is live stream me going through the remake in its entirety, but then make Marie Plus like a one-off later down the road, just to kind of try it out for curiosity. And the reason why I say it like that is that you gotta understand as well, I didn't like older Atelier games when I first played them. The originals on PS2. Great localizations. 99% of localizations are genuinely fine nowadays. They do what they need to do, and they might add an extra humor. The only time it gets a bit awkward is when they, like, the original release of Persona 5 is an infamous example because it sparked controversy. And it was because it straight up wasn't in the Japanese text, and it was kind of insulting. They had a very, like, kind of off-the-cuff, weird transgender comment in the original release of Persona 5, but only in the localization, and it just didn't exist in the Japanese version. Everyone just kind of went, huh? Like, if you'd, like, directly translate that scene, it doesn't say anything that the US version said. But then they corrected that in Royal because of complaints. That's like the hard thing. Burnt too many times? Yeah, but for every one you've been burnt, there's still another 10 that are perfectly fine. I guarantee you. And that isn't even me being biased. The nature of how localizations are handled in this day and age, and how they've been handled for at least the last decade, and that's me being, like, kind of strict on it anyway. If I was being generous, I'd say it's been like 2 decades, but still. On average, no, they hit the mark more often than not. Usually when people say, oh, I hate this localization, more often than not, you look into it, it's because, like, one particular line maybe sounds slightly off-cuff, but everything else is just fucking fine. And that's not me discrediting your thoughts, I'm just saying that's how it usually ends up going down with most people. It's people that are hyper-precise that it has to be absolutely perfect. When in nature, more often than not, localizers, it's in the description. We've discussed this before. They're not translators, they're localizers. It's not just their job to translate the text, it's to make the text work for a Western audience or wherever they localize it to. Inserted the patriarchy. Yeah, but that, like I said, there are bad examples and there are bad instances, but that doesn't mean all of them are bad. In fact, that doesn't mean even most of them are bad. Most of them are fine. What the fuck? What the fuck is this level? Is this what the whole, like, trophy for, like, 21? You have to hunt these guys down and fight them? Also, I really don't know which way is the plot way, because I thought the other way was plot way. Oh, I'm going to want the main character being Tron. Yeah, but when it comes to that one, I haven't read it, so obviously I can't speak of it. You're saying a few babs. Oh, absolutely. I haven't read it. I've never read anything Mandarin, so I have to take your word for it. But I don't know if it's like, if that was like, intent, and then the localizer picked up on the intent and just corrected it for whatever reason. More often than not, that's not the case. So I know that might not be it, but obviously I don't know, so that's why I'm asking. Like, was that one just, like I said, a bad example, or was it just like, the writer's intent was clearly there, but for whatever reason they couldn't implement it, so the localizer filled in the blank? Yeah. Well, I mean, the most infamous, if you want to talk about bad localizations, the most infamous bad one is Sailor Moon, the original. That one was infamously atrocious because the American localization didn't like the fact that the main character was gay and didn't like the fact that there was a non-binary character in it. And so made the love interest a sibling and completely got rid of any mention of the character being non-binary. They made them a he. And then in the final season, when both of those become explicitly explained in your face, because the localizer couldn't get around it, they just refused to localize that season, so it never got aired originally. That's like the ultimate go-to, like, unfortunate example. It didn't work for those localizers, because literally everyone and their mother could see what was actually going on in Sailor Moon. The localizer did a real poor job trying to cover it up, but still. You're just... I know what you mean, but it's like, as someone who doesn't recognize either of the examples you've made, it just sounds like you're saying words. It's like, oh yeah, the real worst one is, da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yes! So the only, like, localization I've watched in recent years I genuinely had a problem with was Danganronpa 3. But even then, Danganronpa 3, I've said before, I don't like Danganronpa 3 the anime full stop. I think its writing's kind of poor. The localization just makes the poor writing kind of cringier, and that's where my problem with that is. We're reviving a bad example. Yeah, no, that's fine, dude. I wasn't criticizing that, I'm just saying I've never heard of the examples you've made. But I said, like, Sailor Moon was always my go-to one as an example, just because that one was literally done with a place of malice. The localizer didn't like something about it, so deliberately set in to change it. Oh, so this is the Mew scene. I grew up on 4 Kids. Yeah, and I always find it funny. Everyone who either hates localizations or hates English dubs, you can almost... a good, let's say about 80-85% of the time, you can trace it back to them watching 4 Kids. 4 Kids made such a negative impact on the nature of how people handle anything outside of Japan when it comes to anime. Like, that feels like so much of it can be traced back to 4 Kids and how much they were so hyper-precise in their censorship and control. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh? Pokemon, yes. Yu-Gi-Oh, not so much. I can't speak for GX too much, I don't remember GX that much, but the original Yu-Gi-Oh, no. If you watch the Japanese version and compare it to the English, they're radically different beasts. They get the same message across, but it's like the obvious one is that they kid-friendlyify dying. And it's why everyone memes on it, because in the Japanese version, if they played Shadow games, you died if you lost. In the localized version, you got sent to the Shadow Realm if you lost. You know? Like, Pokemon did alright, but Yu-Gi-Oh, no. The funniest one was always Sonic X. That was one of the later ones 4Kids did. And the reason why I say it's funny is because in the Japanese version, they're swearing. And I mean like hard cussing swearing. Because in Japan, it was intended to be a more mature Sonic show. Yet when they localized it, instead of keeping it as more of like a teen or just a more mature thing, they completely got rid of all of it, toned down most of the violence, and then promoted it for kids. And it was just like, wow, that was an interesting turn 4Kids decided to take on that. And the reason I get why 4Kids do it, Eric Stewart, the voice of Kaiba or James in Pokemon and a few others, spoke of it at length because he used to work for 4Kids and it's why he was involved in a lot of projects. It was very much just the nature of the time when he was doing it, that there was this enforcement from the company that everything had to be approachable by as many people as possible, even if the show in Japan wasn't so much. And so when you're going into localizing something and it has to be appropriate for as many people as possible, obviously lots of liberties are going to start getting taken for localizations or what would be slightly more mature or slightly darker or slightly edgier shows. So Sonic X having swearing? Nope, get rid of that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Having people get killed? Nope, it's the Shadow Realm. You know? I get it. It's just such a shame that 4Kids, as a result, made such an impact on how people look at localizations and English dubs still to this day, despite the fact most are either fine or straight up good. You know? It's a real shame that that's how people look at it. Especially when people get, like, really, like, preachy about it. You know? Like more so with the English dubs. Like, localizations, I get the argument. People can, like, turn to me and say, like, this one's really bad, this one kind of hurt the experience of it. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Bad writing can ruin anything, especially when you know the original writing is better than what it got translated to for the West. English voice acting, though, when people get really on, like on their high horse about how dare they get an English dub, they should have just lifted subtitles. I'm like, shut up! You know, it's people doing a job. There's a good... I don't know what the percentage would be, but a good way too many of the audience don't like watching things subtitled. They want to be able to just hear it. And it's a shame, because if they just got over and to quote, I can't remember what the director's name's called, but the guy who made Train to Busan, to quote him, if people could just get over the inch-tall barrier of subtitles, a whole new world would be open to them, and I get that. And I get that side of it, but equally, the whole time people aren't, you need to make money. And to make money, you need to make it appeal to them. And to make it appeal to them, you get English voice cast. And it works out, because English voice cast, they're academy or professionally trained for sometimes up to a decade on end before they get one good gig. They go to university, they go to all these film academies, they maybe do theatre shows and all this stuff. Then they get paid fuck all for a performance, so they generally get paid terrible for their voice acting performance. That's why unions exist. You know? And then they do their job, they get enough money to pay rent, and suddenly they have to deal with a whole swarm of dickheads telling them that they shouldn't have done their role because it should be Japan only. That's when I'm just like, shut up. You know, that's just when I'm just like, they're doing their jobs, they're trying to survive in this economy. Why are you trying to drag them down just because you're not happy that the voice is a different voice? Made for that audience. There is a major majority in a very huge audience of people who will absolutely love the content they are shown as long as it's in their language, and that absolutely extends to anime. That extends to anything. There's a whole group of people who just don't want to read the subtitles, and so but still want to be able to appreciate or watch something. And you can't just tell them, no, this ain't for you because we decide so. Because that goes back to that old topic of gatekeeping. That's literally saying, no, you're not allowed to watch it because it's not the way we say it is. So you shouldn't do that. And obviously, as any film director or any anime director or whatever, you want as many people to be able to experience it as possible. If it means pissing off 5 people but attracting 10 more new ones in because you dubbed it, you're gonna take it. Everything does that. You always are prepared to, like, cut off a small chunk of your audience if it means gaining a whole new bigger one. The most classic example is literally any fighting game and how they reinvent the wheel in every single entry. They do it knowing that it will probably sacrifice, like, a fifth of their audience, but the new people they'll get in as a result will be way better. They'll get, like... I won't tell people what one business side. It's a clash of culture. Yeah, but there's a way of fixing that clash. And fixing a way in that clash isn't just by ostracizing people who don't want to watch it subbed. You know? That's my point. There's a way around it that includes everyone, instead of only including some people. And that's why I get, like, pushy on it, you know? Because I'm just like, there is a way to make everyone happy here. Because obviously, ultimately, if saying that, no, I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm just saying that's my stance on it. That's my, like, take on it. That's how I feel on it. I always want it to come across that way. Underground philosophy. Yeah, I can understand that. Anyway, we've been staring at like a hologram of Mew for a while, so let's actually read this. My show's a huge success. Oh, did you see it? Was it great? It was great, right? Yeah, it was. When I'm performing a show, everyone's emotions flow through me. I can feel my song healing people's pain. Mew, what's wrong? I can't believe. There's so many sad emotions are going wild within me. My heart is being suffocated by everyone's sad feelings. I feel like I'm going insane. Dub fan, plenty of friends went to anime from dubs. And yeah, exactly. If you know someone who got into anime through dubs, that in of itself kind of proves the significance of dubs. You know? In a way. It's like, would they have still got into it if everything was sub only? You'll take to see me for the same period of time. Yeah, what are you going to do if she's not in the sequel, huh? Because I don't think she will be. Any promotional stuff I've seen of it doesn't mention Mew full stop, so I don't think she's in the sequel. I think this game is Mew's story, sort of thing. Am I a complaint? Anyway, I feel like I'm going insane. No one needs a reality that makes people feel like this. Everyone should stay in Mobius forever. And once again, we're back to this thing with Mew. We're back to this thing with Mew, where it's like, she genuinely means the best and she's not the bad guy here. But her perspective of the world, of it just being filled with pain and her trying to fix it is just... It's not helping people as much as she thinks it is. The only thing, it's just hurting her. Spectating, it gets people invested in what I love all the better. Yeah, my complaints always think... Yeah, I can understand that. I didn't read all of what you said. I didn't just read the last comment. It's just I was trying to read Mew as well. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I think you're wrong. Are you alright? You're worried about me? Thank you. Why was she shocked that I had to like gasp and pant like that when I asked if she was okay? Jesus, Mew, you really are struggling. But I'm alright. It's the least I could do. Helping the people who are asking for my support. You know, actually, I take it back. You know what Mew is? Mew is the epitome of that one person who's determined to help everyone else out, but never helps themselves. And so it's like making sure everyone else is happy. It always smiles at them, always makes sure their needs are taken care of, but is literally suffering themselves because of it. Because they're not spending any time on themselves. Mew is the epitome of that person. She's trying to fix everyone's problems, and it's weighing on her. I used to believe in turning people to consume in subs. Is there philosophy anymore? Fair. Sorry, please don't tell the others. I want to be smiling for everyone. See, literally, she showed weakness and she's saying don't tell anyone else, so she doesn't want people to worry about her. Ah. Just like me, for real. Yeah, same. Have you calmed down? Are you okay? Yeah, thanks. I'm fine now. I'll be smiling the next time you see me. See? She doesn't want anyone to worry about her either. She's overwhelmed by everyone's painful, sad feelings. Her heart can't process it, so it manifested as chest pains. These negative emotions are overflowing within Mew. If the real Mew continues to accumulate them, she might get overtaken by negative emotions at any moment now. I was having the past toxic because of it. Yeah, I hear you. Please hurry and find Mew. Oh, trophy unlocked. Mew's Wish. See all of Mew's optional scenes. Oh, okay, so that's the last time we're going to see Mew in like an optional flashback kind of thing. The Madman's Room. Ooh. Mew's back there. Oh. Mew's in there, but we need to break seals first. Alright, let's get back to plot. Actually, I'm going to save first because it's been a bit. So, if we're... You know, Mew might be losing her mind because of all of this. Do you think Mew might be the final boss? Like, do you think this dungeon's gonna be hunting down Mew, hunting down Thorn even? We defeat Thorn, but Mew's already too far gone. Because like I said, the final dungeon is different if you side with the musicians. But the fact that we haven't had that moment of having to pick a side means there's probably one more dungeon yet beyond this, you know? So would the next one be either Mew's dungeon, or if you turn on the Go Home Club, like, I don't know, Arya's dungeon? You know, keep the idea of fighting while the vocal loads? And if Mew is the final boss, I'm really curious what the final boss theme's going to be. Because it'd have to obviously represent Mew and what Mew's gone through. In the same way every song kind of represents the characters to some extent. But at the same time also be the final boss theme. That's not an easy task. I mean, heck, it took Persona till Persona 5 Royale before they actually put a song as a final boss theme. Because even they were kind of like, yeah, no, it's actually kind of really hard to figure out how to handle that. Hey, level 50! My trophy is called What is Love? What is Love? Strength is the full trophy name. Wow, that's a fantastic trophy name for reaching level 50. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. How much do we have to level up again? Let me check. Oh god, 50k. Okay, so yeah, level 50 is the soft cap then, got it. That's why there's a trophy for it. Level 50 is a soft cap. So we'll probably still be around level 50 by the time we fight the final boss. It'll just be about getting the rest of the gang up to snuff. I'm glad the trophy is just get me to level 50 and not get the whole party to level 50. Because the whole, you know, some members of the party only get half experience if they're not in the party sort of thing. That would have been annoying. That would have been annoyingly grindy, because you'd get level 50 and everyone else would be like mid-40s. Well, I mean, look at my level compared to everyone else. Oh, 45! Oh, the enemies are getting stronger. But if 50 is a soft cap, what's all that shit level 90 plus enemies? You know? What's to do with that level 104 enemy we found in the last dungeon? Maybe something now wicked in the basement. I think that's where we found that level 104. I say that there might be like a, they might all just be new game plus things. Which, if that's the case, if this game like goes all in on new game plus, that's gonna be kind of wild, considering how long this game already is. But as I've said before as well, when we do get to Caligula 2, the biggest thing we'll be paying attention to is seeing if they are going fully committed to like the Persona route of like, you know, entirely different cast of each game, sort of like what that game does. Since I can make that comparison because it's comparable. Or whether there's going to be references to the first game story, or tie-ins to the lore, or whatever, or like returning characters, even if it's just as a cameo. Like, I hope it's not the last time we see some of these characters. Some of them I don't mind seeing the back of, because some of them just aren't that interesting, unfortunately. But some of them I'd be more than up for seeing again, especially on the musician side of life. I want to see how some of those musicians grow and change as people after the events of this game, assuming they are saved. And are not just killed for being baddies, you know? Or part of the baddies, quote-unquote. I say that Thorn probably won't be coming back, unless there's something with her being like an omnipresent spirit or some shit. What level are you guys? If I can sneak around behind you, I'll absolutely go for that fight. God damn it, these guys are just gonna guard, aren't they? Ooh, and I get interrupted. Oh, my ult didn't go out because the enemy died. Okay, that's cool. In its character dimensions. Yeah, I agree. It's why I want to see some of them come around again in the sequel, because I want to see what becomes of them, and how they interact with the new characters when we meet them, like how they fit into the picture. Like, there's so many mini pieces. Complexity is downright impressive. Yeah, like, even if they, like, not every single individual hit the mark in the same way, like, I don't think I'm going to be missing Stalk after I finish this game, you know? The ones that hit really well, and it's surprising how often I do kind of go, oh, like, you know, after we learn more about them, or see the bigger picture, and things like that. Like, this game, like, its character writing has ambition. Like, you can see they wanted to reach for the stars, and they had ideas that they wanted to commit to. And I can respect that, even if not every single execution is smooth. You can see that they've put their heart and soul into trying to nail it. And that's enough. Because when it works brilliantly. Oh, no more amp... I shouldn't get rid of the DLC ones, I'll just start here. Backup sex bot, Jesus. Oh, if they want to get rid of inventory limits in the next game, that'd be nice too. Just saying. Fished up a shark and got still free, Jesus. I think that was one of the things I was actually, and it sounds like a dumb thing to like be like disappointed by, but it was something that just kind of was a little bit like, oh come on. Was the fishing in Tales of Arise? It's like one of the trophies is catch one of every single fish. So I platinumed it. I've absolutely done that. There are like bigger fishes or more challenging fishes, but they're all still like just fishes. I was like, come on, it's a video game. You could have just fucked around a little bit. Let me fish up something that makes no sense. Come on, it's also a fantasy game. You can make me fish up some like magic sea creature, but no, they're all just different fishes. And I was just like, that felt like such a, even though it was like a small mini game thing, that felt like a wasted opportunity a little bit, just to kind of have some fun with it. Especially when, you know, like, I know, like, it's a very different game, obviously, but then you go to Sonic Frontiers, and, like, 90% of the things you fish up in that game are, like, joke items or joke fish or things that don't make sense. Like, you go fishing, and you fish up a poison dart frog, and it's like, no, Sonic, put it back, it's gonna kill you! Or you fish up a fucking, like, checkpoint signpost from, like, Sonic 1, you're like, how'd this end up here? I think you could fish up a hammerhead as well in that game, which is just wild to say out loud. And there's an extremely powerful will not far from here. It's not moving, I think. Everyone's waiting for us. Be careful. Ooh. I'm gonna save then. I'll take your warning to heart. I've said before, but I do appreciate that when we get the Caligula 2, that game is more blunt about how they get the two endings. It's penultimate chapter. The game's going to like tell you, give you an option between A or B, and they just give you the endings from that. You know, like it's very straightforward. Whilst this one's, you have to max out the friendships. You have to have certain things happen. You have to decide to agree to go see things from the musician's perspective to begin with. You have to then side with the Go Home Club. Like, you know, it's like there's more steps to it. And I know some people like having to put extra work in the efforts and whatnot. And depending on the game, I do too. But if it's a much longer game, no. No, because I might not want to do all the extra playthroughs, you know? If the game's only like a few hours long, sure, whatever. But if it's like a 40+ hour game, I might not want to see every ending. This place. Hifuri-chan, someone's there. Who? Welcome. This is the flower garden of bloodshed. Oh yeah, right, I forgot, like, half of the musicians are currently being possessed by the mind phones because Thorn enforced them to wear it. So we're probably gonna have a... Oh, is this the boss rush dungeon? I just realised. Sweet Pea? She seems different from the last time we saw her. It appears that she's been brainwashed again. You remember how the tea party turned into a real mess last time? That's why we're going to continue it today. We're going to have an elegant time enjoying orange pekoe that's been brewed with your blood. Could you die? You'll look cuter dead. Here she comes, guys. Yeah, it's going to be a boss rush, isn't it? I'm a lovely fairy who's been resurrected for blood and revenge. I'll erase anyone from this world who calls me a fat, sweaty man. Oh, wow. What's this track? Oh, this is right. This is just the remix of Her Thing from Her Boss. I just completely forgot about it. It sounds so much heavier than I remember it being. Listen to how hard it's going. Like, it's going all in. Oh, too, speaking of the fishing mini games, that's like one of the only reasons I haven't bothered to platinum Neptunia Reverse, the PS5 remaster. Because that also has a fish one of every fish thing, because that was like one of the only new things that Reverse added, other than, you know, dynamic inputs and like that free play mode. And they added like a whole bunch of fishing mini games, and the fishing mini game is okay. It's okay, but there's a trophy for like fishing up everything, and I was just like, nah. Ow, huh? Did I lose you guys again? Did her personality just change? When we lost before, I remember getting really angry that Thorn was yelling at us. So she was brainwashed again, after all. Excuse me? So you were saying such cruel things to you last time we met. I've been wanting to apologise ever since. I only own a PS5, yeah. To be fair, Reverse's trophy list is way more reasonable than Rebirth 1, even though it's the exact same game. It's way more reasonable. There's no... I don't think there is. There's no, like, grind 1 million fucking money, or, like, 10 million money, or however much it is. It's a little bit more... or the credits, even, you know what I mean? But there is one for, like, doing the fishing minigame all the way through to the end, and I just... There's too much in the fishing minigame. That's why I kind of burnt out with it. I did it for a while, and if you go like all in on it early on, you can kind of get some like really good equipment way earlier than intended. It's kind of busted, but you have to put in the commitment for it, and I just couldn't be bothered. I do like that if you screw up catching a fish, Nep still catches something. It's just there's a chance it won't be a fish or something that you want. It could just be an enemy. So like even if you screw up, there's still like incentive to keep trying because you still get something. There's a chance it won't be something good. And I also get why they did the fishing minigame, because they made it all pressure based, and the PS5 has like pressure alterers on the triggers. So like you could hold in R2, like that was like the real in button, but if the fish started resisting, you'd feel it on your finger, so you'd know to loosen the trigger. They actually like kind of went all in on it to like make it work properly. That, you know, the trigger would get tighter or looser depending on how much the fish is resisting, so you could feel it out as you fish it up. It's just like I said, it just got a bit tiring after a while, especially in the later ponds. There's like 5 ponds in the game, and like the early ponds the fish aren't so bad, and the later ponds like you have to go to war with every single one of them, and it just took forever. And so I just kind of went, oh, I'll do it some other time, and then never got around to it. It's okay. That was easy. I mean, even though I look like this in Mobius, it doesn't change the fact that the real me is a fatty. I've always thought that an ugly person like me shouldn't be allowed to like cutesy things or girly outfits. I thought it was something so embarrassing that the entire world would laugh at me. Sweet Pea-san. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what other people think. Sunflower-chan, I'm going to follow your example and return to the real world. Will I actually get fit from dieting and working out, I'll wear a bunch of cute clothes. Hey, let's have another tea party if I'm successful with my diet. Together? For that reason, you gotta do your best, right until the very end, so you can return to the real world. I wonder if this cutscene's only playing out this way because I maxed out both Mafuri and Sweet Pea, for them to both be more reasonable with each other. Okay, I'll give it my all. Yeah, it's very understandable. In order to do that, you have to stop Thorn. I can't give you any advice though, since I don't know anything about her. I feel like we're quite similar. Girls have good intuition, you know? But you're not a girl. Kotaro-senpai! You shouldn't say things to hurt people's feelings like that. Yeah, don't be like that. This is a difficult problem. Come on, let's keep going. We have to meet Sweet Pea-san in the real world. Hey, was there a sealed door on your way here? Don't know why the dialogue, like they stopped voice acting. Yeah, actually, what about it? I think they were using my power to keep it shut while I was brainwashed. Which means it's open now? I think so, but I doubt I'm the only musician who ended up here. To make it all the way to Thorn, you'll probably have to undo the brainwashing of the others too. Yeah, this is a boss rush dungeon, great. I see. Alright then, let's go find the other musicians. Anything else of value in this room? If it's just a boss rush dungeon, I'm gonna level with you. I'm gonna like not fight many, if any, of the normal enemies from this point onwards. I'm just gonna beeline for the bosses because otherwise we'll never get this dungeon done. You know, if I have to fight all the enemies on the path to the next boss, considering how many musicians there are, like, because next will be Stork, right? Because the only reason we didn't fight Kensuke is because Kensuke's on our team, because he was the first boss. So Sweet Pea, Stork, Shonendol. Was it Kushinashi next, or am I think I'm missing someone? I think it was Kushinashi, Mirai, Ikapi, Mr. Anime, Shadow Knife, and then Marie, or Wicked. Oh, okay, you're a high enough level to interact with us, got it. Oh, that's the other thing in the sequel. And if it's this game, actually, despite a couple characters here and there not being the best, for the most part, I'd say this game got away with having a big cast. And that's not easy to do, because the more characters you have, obviously, the more you have to like spread out the screen time for them. And so sometimes that can really backfire and make some characters feel underwhelming. Case in point, base Persona 5 Haru, where like she only shows up when her dungeon's relevant, and then like barely gets a story arc before like all the end game stuff is happening. Or like either of the Persona Q games, if we're on the topic. Persona Q is infamous for having way too many cooks and not enough screen time for them. But this game, despite having a pretty damn big cast, I'd say for the most part does alright. It's more that just one or two characters have weak stories, not that they don't get enough time for their story, you know? Like, it's not that Stork doesn't get enough time for his story, it's more that I just don't care for him. And I still stand by the fact that certain social links straight up interact with each other and overlap with each other is genuinely really cool. And it's a shame that Persona doesn't do that, because I think that's genuinely like one of the most cool things about this game. But my two favourite things is the whole dual perspectives where you play as Lucid and get to be on the side of the musicians for a while. I think that's a sick idea, and I love what they do with it. And the fact that the social links overlap. Those two are like my biggest compliments. I love the fact that you hang out with Ayana and it allows you to learn enough about Eiji to talk to him and develop his social link. But by developing his, you learn more about what's going on with Kushinashi, which allows you to start her social link. And then through her social link, you learn the truth of what Eiji's really about and challenge him on it to finish off his social link. I like that they interact with each other like that. Because like Persona have done things sort of like that, but nowhere near that deep. It's always been like, if you reach rank 4, you unlock the next social link, because you might be helping someone at the hospital, and like in Persona 4, for example, you're doing the nurse social link, and like at rank 4, you happen to talk to an old lady, and now you've got a social link with the old lady you can start. But that's kind of it. But it's just like, hey, you talk to someone, and now you can talk to someone else because you hung out with them for a bit. Whilst this, it's more interactive. They bounce off of each other. And I'm hoping they keep it up in the sequel. But then equally, I want to see the sequel just get more self-expressive. This game feels like... I really like what it's doing and what it's original with, but it does feel like in some aspects it's stuck in the shadow of Persona because of the fact that it's using that game's basically spine, but doing its own spin with it. I kind of want the sequel to kind of express itself more and be its own thing, to make me go, yeah, the Caligula effect is the Caligula effect, Persona is Persona. Whilst this, like I said, in a lot of areas it just feels like discount Persona, when it has the potential, especially in its writing, to be much more. I actually prefer the character writing in, not for every character, but for the most part, than I have done like the past 3 Atlas titles. Soul Hackers 2, I was completely enamored with Saizo, and I really resonated with Fig. But everyone else, I was kind of like, yeah, they were alright, but like there wasn't enough to them. SMT5, I really want to play SMT5 because I love Shin Megami Tensei, but it doesn't change the fact that like in every single trailer for it, I was like, man, these characters are not interesting. The only character that's interesting is the main character because of his design. And then obviously Persona 5 is Persona 5. I love a lot of the characters, but it doesn't change the fact that some of them could have been way better than they are. Especially how other characters react to certain characters. Cough cough, how everyone reacts to Ryuji, cough cough. But then if what everyone's kind of figured out of Persona 6 turns out to be true, hopefully that'll be way better. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the anniversary event that went on throughout the whole of last year was rumoured to originally end with Persona 6 getting announced, but they decided to delay it because they want to basically have the game be as fully polished as they want it to be before they even announce it, which I think is entirely fair enough after Persona 5 it took years after its first announcement to come out. But the fact it got delayed, means they are actually committing to it. They're not trying to force it out to reach deadlines and whatnot. And I'm hoping that's the case, because that also means Sega's finally starting to bloody learn. But because if that's the case, that's 2 instances in a row of Sega allowing a game to get delayed to get more polish. When beforehand, they used to never be about that. They were almost entirely against the idea of delaying anything. Because Sonic Frontiers got delayed by a whole year, and came out brilliant as a result. And then Persona 6 potentially also have been delayed by a significant period of time. And hopefully it will be way better as a result. Because base Persona 5, wonderful game, still had corners cut. Persona 4, wonderful game, still definitely had corners cut. Persona 3, wonderful game, had corners cut. The moment the moment Atlas were fending and working with different companies and everything like that, they've always had to cut corners and had to figure things out or work around it. So it'd be nice if Persona 6 can just be a one full package. It can just be one big complete thing that got everything they wanted in it and wasn't compromised. Red Cross of a Sinister Shine. Pressure coming off of it is so strong that I feel uncomfortable touching it. And if they need something else whilst we wait, hey, Shin Megami Tensei 4 is still stuck on the 3DS. You know, like, not only just port that because it's a wonderful game, but port it so you can remind yourself what good character writing is, please, Atlas. Because SMT4 is a, like out of the, knocked out of the park kind of level of phenomenal character writing. It's absurd how good the character writing in 4 is. That guy patched with a skull on it. And it's one of the only things, because even SMT3 is my favourite Shin Megami Tensei game. Nocturne is god tier to me. But one of the very few things I actually prefer from other SMTs is the character writing in 4. It's the character writing and the atmosphere. The atmosphere in 4 is, like, untouchable to me. And the proof's in the pudding that the direct follow-up to SMT4, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, didn't match it. Like, even though it was based in the same world and continued on with it, it didn't have the atmosphere because, you know, a base SMT4 was such almost like a genie in the lamp, or like magic in the bottle, lightning in a bottle kind of atmosphere, where they just so perfectly nailed it that you knew they were never going to get it again kind of deal. God, I've been thinking about SMT4 again recently. I want to go through that game again in my spare time. And since the Nintendo 3DS eShop is like, if it's not defunct already, it's literally just about to be, because I know like it was imminent, it's going to get shut down. I kind of want to bring more attention to it because it needs a remaster or a port to consoles, because getting a physical copy is extremely expensive. The only way to get it at a reasonable price was getting the digital version, but if the 3DS store's going down, then there goes that, you know? My copy of SMT4 is digital, because I wasn't about to ship out £150 to get a physical copy when I could get it for £22 on the digital store, you know? And it'd also be a good opportunity for them to clean up the smirk mechanic, to just make a couple subtle alterations here and there to clean things up. And I know what they were going for, and I respect the idea, but maybe either add some kind of indicator, or in general make it easier to track your alignment. Because having your ending dictated by your alignment, but equally having absolutely no ability to find out what your alignment is one of the more annoying and unfortunate things about that game that makes getting the true ending kind of tedious. Because you basically have to follow a guide throughout the whole thing, whilst also plotting ahead. There is a cheap way of getting the true ending that if you know kind of thing. It's don't do any side quests and pick the first option of every single cutscene. You'll end up on something like +7, which is like 1 point short of going into lore ending, so it'll count for neutral. But if you do any side quests also have their own choices that can affect your alignment, so you have to avoid every side quest. So it's like the boring way of doing it. But it's helpful for speedrunners, which is why it was designed like that. So if you want to speedrun the game and get the true ending, you don't have to over-plan every choice. As long as you avoid the side quests, which if you're speedrunning you're going to do anyway, and just focus down. My voice, you're different ones. I always said, rescue me, it's not you. I challenge you to a fight. If you still want to defeat me, there's no recourse, I will face you. My lord bestowed upon me the title of Marcus. May show you the stupidity of challenging me. And I felt so bad as well with SMT4, because there was a poll a couple years ago asking people what their favourite tracks from the Shin Megami Tensei series were, and in the top 50 there wasn't a single SMT4 track. And the composer upon hearing that for SMT4 apologised on Twitter and said, I'll do better next time, clearly they weren't that good. And I was like, no, SMT4 soundtrack is god tier. The reason why it didn't come up in the top 50 is because the entire soundtrack is atmospheric. Which is the whole purpose of SMT4. The whole game is super atmospheric. It's a phenomenal soundtrack. It just, you know, it doesn't have that action-y sense that everyone else latched onto, which is why it didn't end up in the top 50. But it doesn't mean the soundtrack's bad. Like, I really hope he didn't, like, people managed to convince him that, you know, his SMT4 soundtrack wasn't bad, because he was super beating himself up about it. I love bass SMT4's soundtrack. It's Apocalypse where I start to have problems, because some of the tracks just don't fit. When you're still used to bass SMT4's dark and overbearingly cold world, you get to, for Apocalypse, and, like, the underground shelter you're in has, like, a really, like, almost anime vibe to it. It just doesn't fit. I'll say the whole of 4 Apocalypse doesn't really fit SMT. I still like it. I still think the game's really fun. But I entirely get the complaint that it feels more like a pseudo-Persona game than it does an SMT game. Because it does. You're like a band of teenagers trying to save the world. Like, that's so Persona it hurts. Whilst SMT has always been about the complications of law and order. The complications of chaos. The complications of religion. You know, the destruction of politics. The nature of man. You know, all these very, like, philosophical topics. And then 4 Apocalypse is you're a group of teenagers trying to defeat God. And you're like, there's one of these things are not like the other. But I still like 4 Apocalypse. It's, even if it's, like I said, it's weird. Like, it was very divisive when it came out because of how they handled it. And it's weird, because they made the characters, like, cheekier and slightly more comedic. Yet I laughed more often in base SMT4, and it wasn't because base SMT4 was funnier, but it's because that game was so much darker, grittier, atmospheric, and more heartfelt. When there was a moment of relief, you enjoyed it more. Like, when there was a moment where, like, there's a poisonous mist that affects Walter's mind, and he starts just speaking gibberish where he's being affected by it, you laugh because no one's in danger. It's just Walter being an idiot because he's under the influence of the thing, of, like, the gas. You know? Like, you get to take a breath and it's like, oh yes, we actually do get to enjoy being adults and enjoy the life we're in and not just always be, you know, caught in between a war of, like, different cults, basically. God damn it. And if there ever was a remaster of SMT4, I'm telling you right now, I would stream the whole thing, and I would do everything in my power to get the neutral ending. I'd want to show off as much as possible, so I would acknowledge side quests and try and figure out as we go, but I would do literally everything in my power to try and get the true ending. So I'd want to show off Masakado, I'd want to show off the Archangels, I'd want to show what you do with the true ending once you hit it, and like what you're aiming for with it. There's so much I'd want to showcase, and like everything in between. And the writing in general, it's not just how the characters are great, the writing in general is really good. When you finally capture the Black Samurai and she's about to be executed, and she starts comparing humanity and their desires to the original nature of Adam and Eve before she's about to get executed, you're just like, fucking hell, this game goes in on its writing. It's a phenomenal speech as well. And the worst part is that she ends up being right. You're right, Lucifer. Speaking of SMT. Heralds of Light, I, Lucifer, the demon who fell into the black abyss, have been waiting for you. Let's go sword in battle. Sure. Why is Lucifer level 35? Goodbye! Yeah. Lucifer, this enemy's not living a turn. I'm telling you right now, they're not living this turn. Goodbye. Oh. See an extremely powerful will not far from here. So always be careful. Alright, so following my logic, this is going to be Stalk. I'll save again just in case. It'd also be fun if they remaster SMT4 to see a whole new generation suffer the Minotaur fight. the whole new group of audience try out SMT4, get to the end of the tutorial, start the boss fight with Minotaur, and then get wrecked harder than they've ever been wrecked in a JRPG in their life. Because SMT4 is also one of the hardest video games I've ever played. And it's balanced out just by the nature of you can save anywhere, and it has a phenomenal death system. As one of the most clever and smartly handled death systems I've ever seen in a game, with the whole bribing Charon at the River of Styx. You can bribe him to get another shot at life, but if you go into debt and die again, then it's game over. So as long as you have the money, you can keep trying. But depending on how high a level you are, depending on how far you're in the game, and a bunch of other various factors, depends on how much he taxes you, basically. So if you're super late into the game and die to a big enemy, he's going to charge you a small fortune. And when you're in debt, every single penny you get from anything goes into paying off that debt. And if you die again before you pay it off, then it's game over. So there's still a punishment if you keep fucking up, but there's some kind of relief in it. I almost never used it because after a while, you realize when you die, if you soft reset, as in like hold every button, or just straight up quit out the game and launch it again, then load your save, it's quicker than doing the whole conversation with Charon. You only do the conversation with Charon if you haven't saved in a while, because obviously you'll be loading your save. So as long as you just save regularly, it's just quicker to just reset and then load up your save again than it is to speak to Charon. Which is why, like, on my save file, because on your 3DS, it only tracks your playtime. It tracks how many times you've launched it. It says something like 400, because of how many times I've just shut it and launched it again when I died. Because I've gone through that game, like, 4 times. And I'm pretty sure 350 of them are from my blind playthrough when I first started it. It's so eerie. It's more like a haunted house in a music club. It wasn't necessarily like this since it was made, when Thorn was into gothic rock. The music club just embodied that concept. What helped as well is that, I don't know about the physical copy, but at least the digital version. The digital version of SMT4 saves insanely quick. Like, you literally click the button and it goes save complete. And so if you can literally just save after every single random encounter if you want to, and you're good to do that. And literally just kind of baby step your way through the game as you figure it out. And then, like, when you're more comfortable or confident, or just on repeat playthroughs, when you just know things better, then you can be a bit more, like, brazen and see how it goes. So it reflects Thorn's wishes. Yeah. If a ghost or monster pops out, I'll beat it up for them. It's nice you're so enthusiastic, but will the catharsis effect work on ghosts? Let's stop talking about ghosts! What if one actually appears? It really has the air of a place that something could appear. Suzuna-chan, behind you! Huh? Oh, hello, Shonen Doll, so we're not fighting Stalk yet. I have risen from the dead! Boo! Ah! My ears! Shonen Doll-san, what are you doing here? I knew it. I knew you guys would be the ones who threatened me. Can't be. I thought we reached an understanding. No, he's under the influence again. Don't worry. I believe that he's been brainwashed again, like Sweet Pea. Return to normal. Alright, Shonen, let's do this again. Oh, yeah, right, you... Level 11? What? Why did you get these guys here? Why are you wasting my time with these kids? Like, bruh. Get out of here, Shonen. Are these like specialized remixes? Because I don't remember these tracks playing when we first fought these bosses. Like these remixes playing. Are these like specialized remixes for this boss rush? Because they're going all in. Huh? What am I doing here? It appears he's no longer brainwashed. Gosh, I was so surprised. Please don't scare me like that. Oh, my ears. I'm sorry, please stop yelling. I told you we'd all get lunch together in the real world, and yet... I know, I want to go back to the real world too. Apparently Thorn captured and brainwashed me before I knew it. I'll be more careful from now on. You promise? Yeah, I don't want to go deaf, so... But in order to fulfill that promise, we have to do something about Thorn. It seems that she's willing to do anything to protect Mobius. None of the musicians are really, like, in it. Are you noticing? None of the musicians are really in it anymore. They're not trying to, like, be with Thorn or do what the musicians want or all of them want to leave. Like, they're basically on our side. It's literally just us versus Thorn. Oh, and Wicked, because Wicked's just it. Like, Wicked doesn't give a damn regardless about what happens. She'll just fight for fun. She did go as far as to brainwash you again. Even though we also know some musicians, Thorn's the one who ultimately controls everything. Just a hunch, but I think Thorn is a lot older in the real world compared to how she looks here. She has a philosophical vibe to her. She's definitely not an ordinary high school student. An ordinary high schooler, huh? Well, it is pretty normal for people to change how they look here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Shogo's 30. If you didn't collect anything of importance, let's hurry. Izuru's face is full of scars in the real world. Oh yeah, since I'm back to my old self, I'll bet there are places you couldn't go before that unsealed now. Really? Yeah, just, man, I can't believe they'd use us like this, even if it's to protect Mobius. Be careful out there, there are bound to be other brainwashed musicians. Alright, looking forward to getting lunch in the real world, okay? Alright, where next? When I'll beat around the block. Oh god, we gotta go all the way around, I've also been going on this way there, because I started talking about SMT, it's on my mind now. You know what the other game they need to remaster and put on consoles? Fucking Strange Journey, please? For the love of God? Atlas, I've been asking for forever. Please put Strange Journey on consoles? Oh, it was on the DS, so it uses both screens. So, what was the bottom screen used for? Just the map? You can fix that. You can put that on a button. Come on. You can put a mini-map in the corner of the screen if needs be. Oh, it also had your HUD during fights. Yeah, you can overlay that. Come on. You didn't actually touch the touchscreen for anything in either the original or Redux, as far as I remember. So, like, it's just HUD. You can sort that, please. I'm begging you, don't let Strange Journey fade into obscurity when it's like one of the best written and best directed Atlas titles they ever made. That's the most annoying thing. The best written and best like directed or just best handled Atlas games are all the ones that are super obscure and hard to find now. You know? SMT3 Nocturne managed to break away from it, thank God, with the remaster. But the remaster was kind of shoddy, so it kind of just felt a little lackluster when it should have been such a celebration of a wonderful game from 2003. But Strange Journey and SMT4, like, both of those games, come on. Like, SMT4 especially for a general audience, but Strange Journey especially just for me. I've been begging for a Strange Journey remaster on consoles for forever. I adore that game. It's such a wonderful game. I'm just gonna save again. Regardless of whether it's the original Strange Journey or DS or Redux on 3DS, they're both phenomenal games. And the reason why I include both is because Redux did a lot more than just, you know, add extra content. They did rearrange and rework a few things, but they're both very appreciable in different ways. Okay, divine beings. +42. Oh, I think we can handle level 56. I mean, we don't know how much. Based Strange Journey, I believe, had 3 endings. Redux straight up doubles it. That's how much it added. Redux straight up has 3 extra endings on top of it, depending on. I mean, it's simple enough. It's just if you stick with the new character introduced with Redux, you get access to the same styled and same like requirements of the endings, but the outcome and what you fight in them are different. So you have like the lore ending, but then you have the lore ending with Alex. You have the neutral ending, and then you have the neutral ending with Alex. You have the chaos ending, and then the chaos ending with Alex. Just if you do the with Alex route, you fight a unique final boss. What level are you? That's what that red knight. 74. Yeah, no, I don't fancy my chances. And I like the idea of a time-traveling bounty hunter in Redux. Because the story of Redux is not... it kind of pulled a Final Fantasy VII Remake before Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it's not directly a remake. It is, but instead of it being like just a straight remake, it's a loop of the timeline. There's a time loop and you're going through the entire events of the game again, but the main character doesn't know that, so everything, if you haven't played the original, it just feels like the original. Alex is from that original timeline, so she's actually from the original game, but in the original timeline, all 3 of those endings ended in horrible things happening to the real world. And so she's out to correct other timelines by hunting you down and getting rid of you before that can happen. So she's literally just like a dimension-hopping assassin out just for you. And so there's a whole dynamic throughout the course of the game where, yeah, she's out to kill you, and only you. And there's some parts of the game where you have to actively avoid her, and if you get anywhere near her, her music starts blaring because she's trying to... like, her theme starts creeping up on you where she's trying to hunt you down and, like, and whatnot, and you have to try and sneakily avoid her and all this other shit. It's really cool. The sections where you're dealing with Alex before you eventually get her to agree with you enough to stop trying to kill you and start working towards her endings, it was really fun extra dynamic without taking anything away from the original story. Because after your first interaction with her, you can like completely swerve her sections if you know what you're doing and basically just have base Strange Journey again. And Strange Journey, both Strange Journey and Strange Journey Redux, has one of the most baffling soundtracks in Atlas's library. And I don't mean because it's weird or wacky or whatnot. It's because you're playing it on a base DS and a full fucking orchestra is playing, and you're like, how did they get this to work on a DS? You know, a console that shared a soundboard with the Game Boy Advance. Although it was an updated version of the soundboard, it was still based on the Game Boy Advance soundboard. How did they get a full functioning orchestra to do the whole soundtrack? And you're like, what? You know, like, it sounds so space horror. It was like this very effective, slow but methodical like orchestra blaring throughout every single track in the game. Because like, it's the entire soundtrack. It's not like 1 or 2 tracks. The entire OST is orchestra. And it's sort of when you like on an original DS, not even a 3DS, because Redux was 3DS. The original was just DS. You do just kind of sit there and go, what? You hear the normal battle theme, and you hear the and it's just a violin with like trumpets in the background, and then vocals kick in of like a male choir, and you're like, how is this coming out of a DS? You know? But I always love it when games do that with their soundtracks. Like it doesn't happen nowadays really because, you know, all hardware can handle it. But I do kind of miss that era where sometimes you'd get like that one Game Boy game and its soundtrack means you go, how on earth did they get this on a Game Boy? Like the ones I always go to is Castlevania, because Aria of Sorrow, how the hell that soundtrack came out of Game Boy Advance is beyond me. That soundtrack is phenomenal for a Game Boy Advance in terms of just how much they got out of every single instrument to make them work despite the limited data and the limitations of the sound chip. Or how there's like this beautiful violin piece in Order of Ecclesia despite that being a DS title. And I loved that as a kid. Of like, you get used to like everything being of a set quality because of the limitations of the hardware, and then suddenly there's just like one game you play that actually says, you know, screw your limitations and just finds a way to go all out. Usually because there's compromises behind the scenes to make it so the soundtrack can bloom more. Like in the SNES era, and even like the early PS1 era, Nobuo Uematsu was usually given straight up extra strings of code that would normally be used for just the game to be able to put more layers into the soundtrack. It's why, like, in some fights in like Final Fantasy VI is a good example. The final fight, the background isn't moving or animating; it's a still image, because what would have animated it and got it moving was instead used to add more instruments to the soundtrack. Despite the fact that both Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy V both had moving backgrounds for the final boss. So it looks like playthings, could title bizarre things. A lot of stage direction to cast this, was this performed. But then Square Enix did that all the time, to be fair. Final Fantasy VII, the actual like 1v1 between Cloud and Sephiroth is in a complete black background, because they used what would have been the background's data to make the character models higher quality, just for that fight. Just so they could make it more cinematic. Oh well, that worked out. I was trying to go down the middle road last, so I thought it'd be the right way. It's an extremely powerful will. Let's be careful. What do we got? Divine Beings Room. I'll save again. I don't know, because they didn't follow the order, so I don't know who it will be. It might be Stork, but we don't know. But then with that thing with soundtrack, it actually used to bother me when it was the other way around. When layers of code were restricted for the soundtrack to make other areas get better. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne and Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance are my go-to examples. SMT3 Nocturne's soundtrack in-game isn't actually at full quality. It's like deliberately like muted, and it's basically like, it's not MIDI files, but it's close enough. Despite the fact there's full like higher quality versions of every single track, because when it first came out on the PS2 there was no more disc room. So something had to give, so they gave the soundtrack quality. Like the quality of the whole OST is just slightly dimmed, and I was like, no, something else should have gone. Or Harmony of Dissonance, to make the graphics better, they tanked the whole soundtrack. Because they sent in the extra coding, and the extra like code numbers that could fit on the cartridge could instead go into the graphics, which is ironic because I think Harmony of Dissonance is the worst looking game of the GBA trilogy. but still, someone's there. Oh, hello, Ikapi. I got it. I'm gonna make it real big. It's my destiny. Koike. Koike? I'm no longer that insignificant existence. I'm EKP. Everything I do is big. No one can change my destiny. Yeah, your face was big too. Ah, don't say that! Come back to your senses. You are being controlled by Thorn. In this case, it's difficult to tell whether he's actually being controlled or simply acting normal. I'm Akapi. Everything I do is small. No one can change my destiny. Your face sure was big though. Stop ticking him off. Stop trying to aggravate him. We're taunting him, Marita. Whoops, my bad. Really? It's so big, it's cruel. That's my despair! Did someone say despair? Get out of here, Nagato. It might be better to just knock out KO this one already. Yes, let's wake him up. My obedience are said to be more brutal than those of a thousand armed god. Yeah, everyone's got like tech remakes. Like every track's almost got like techno remixes of their themes. Or I say this is less. This is sort of techno, but it's more rave. It's got more of that boom, 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 boom feel to it. Oh, well, that worked out. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. I feel kind of bad because this theme's only just started and we're about to remove one. It's funny that this is like the only version of EKP's theme with vocals that I like. Because I like the theme instrumental-wise, but it's just the lyrics don't fit. Whilst with this one, the lyrics actually fit just that little bit better. This one's actually nice, like, it's like a party track. Like, you would play it to go on a rave with. It makes me wonder what Thorn's theme's gonna be like. If all, like, the remixes for, like, being under the influence of Thorn are more like this. Because this is actually alright, I'm enjoying this. It kind of reminds me of, like, Dreamcast / early PS2 era Sega, where they used to have a lot of tracks like this. And I say early, that kind of continued for a while, because like, good example, Majima's theme in Yakuza 4. I think it's called Receive and Bite You. That's like the epitome of like classic Sega, that track. And like, they all used to be kind of like that. They all used to have that Space Channel 5-esque feel to it. Or Jet Set Radio vibe, depending on who was in control of it. Is it... Oh, again, I'll let this drop go and then we'll advance. Receive and Bite You is definitely incredible. Yeah, and that's what I mean, like, Receive and Bite You is like the epitome of like a classic Sega-era Sega track. Because like Dreamcast-esque tracks and like early PS2-esque Sega tracks, it's sort of the same intensity as well. Absolutely. I love that track. It's my favourite rendition of Majima's theme. But it's also because of my nostalgic bias. It reminds me so much of classic Sega. You go there, guy. Balls out, Kyodai. That's what I remember. I remember him shouting balls out. Ah. Are you okay? Minazawa, what are you doing here? It's like you're back to normal. Thorn brainwashed you. Thorn? I remember. A lot happened after you lost to you guys. She must have used me to suit her needs. Out there she made a fool out of me. We're heading to where Thorn is in order to get back to the real world. I'm pretty sure I was 5. Fuck! Yeah, it probably was. No, I thought it was... The image in my head... Saejima has long hair. So that it's like he was bald in 5 onwards, right? It might be 5. Oh, I can't remember. I don't remember much of Saejima in 5 because Saejima arguably has like the worst story in 5. Because it's all that dream bullshit for half of it, and escaping prison again, and fighting a fucking bear in the woods. You know, like I remember just finding it so tiring. I thought it is 4. Okay, because I don't remember much of Saejima in 5, because I just didn't enjoy him in 5 at all. It is 4. Okay. Koike, you have any info about your identity? Anything's fine. Identity? I don't know. Oh wait. Does something come to mind? Shame This is advice to Kido. Oh! I might be wrong, but I always thought a she may actually be a he. What? Thorn usually speaks like a woman, but she sounds like a man when she talks directly to Mio. A man? Thorn? Natsume? I see, so that's what's going on. Shogo, did you realize something? Oh, I bet I know what it is. I think the real Thorn did actually die, you know, when she jumped off the building and whatnot. And it's not that her ghost or her spirit's continuing on. It's like a sibling that wanted her back so much that she's now her. That they are now her, you know? Yes. No, I just have to confirm it. Hey, Minazawa, when you turn to the real world? Yes. Nah, none. Good all you have when you get back to the real world. Yes, you too. For what it's worth, they taught us all to protect someone, but I can't remember what. Sweet Pea and Shonen Doll's powers were being used to place seals on certain doors, but that's the case for you too. Sweet Pea and Shonen, huh? Yeah, now that you mention it, the three of us were told to guard a door somewhere. Oh, so that means you're the last one? That's true. Then returning everyone to sanity should have opened the way to Thorn. I think so, and I know you're this already, but dealing with Thorn is the only way you'll ever get back to real life. Don't let her defeat you. Yes, I know. Alright everyone, sorry the Thorn. The EKP is the only person Uzuru likes and has some semblance of respect for. Yeah. To be fair, I like Uzuru. I like EKP more than they just. Well, I thought EKP was an idiot when I first met him. I was like, oh, he's just a womanizing idiot. But no, I kind of feel for him. It's because all of his character is basically just like, he doesn't have any self-respect whatsoever, and just took it out on Uzuru. But Uzuru can see behind the bluff enough to try and actually want to help him. It's hard enough to try and help someone to begin with. It's a whole new level of difficulty to try and help someone who actively is trying to fight you. Sky blue prosthetic eye. It seems to be staring at me. It's dirty. I wonder if someone used this. Yeah, just think you're a prosthetic eye on the ground. You know, as you do. Let's just carry on. So sincere bot. Yeah. Right, what's in this room other than hell? 80? 80, 80, 80. 5 level 80 enemies, and then what's back here? Level 86 and 2 level 70s. Oh, okay, maybe we don't bother with these guys. That reminds me of Mine and Daigo from 3. Yeah, actually, I can see that. I had to think for a second, but yeah, I can kind of see that. It's a shame Mine was only in 3. He was a great character, but I feel like they still could have done more of him if he just stayed alive for another game. Like, it really felt like they wasted him by having him die in 3. You know? Like, it really felt like they made Yakuza 3, and then, like, the fact that he shows up in a lot of spin-offs does feel like the writers almost took a step back and went, ah, oh, fuck, we had something going there. We should have kept him around. Because they really had something going with Mine. I adored that character. This final room, yeah, okay. This dungeon, like, all of it, I'm just following the objective markers. None of it's, like, landmarking or sticking with me. It's just kind of, like, a maze with enemies around. So that's why I'm just kind of, like, following the map so severely, because, like, none of it's, like, sticking. They're looking! They're looking! Woohoo! Complaint. Thought he was going to get cliche plotter, but instead it was a man of severe grief issues and a desire for that connectivity. Yeah, Mine was phenomenal. It just felt like they wasted him a little bit because he died at the end. Like, it was a effective ending, and it was the first death since Yakuza 0 that I genuinely really gave a shit about when I went through the games. Like, I was genuinely like, no! Oh! You know, like, I was genuinely gutted we lost him. Like, I was a little gutted we lost Ryuji, but not on the same level as losing Mine. But still. And even then, they've bullshitted characters back alive before. If they really, really, really wanted to, they could bullshit at least Ryuji back. Mine would be a harder pitch to sell because of how Yakuza 3 ends and everything, but Ryuji, he suffered the same wounds nigh on as Kiryu did, and Kiryu lived, so it's not impossible to think Ryuji could have survived somehow. Because you don't actually see him die, you're just told he didn't make it, or something like that, so they could bullshit him back in. So it's like Mine ends up standing out more in that sense to me, because that felt more finalized. What's going on? I just heard a voice nearby. Also, we gotta hunt down. Calm down, everyone. Pervert. It's that pervert. It's that guy. How dare you threaten us? Come out. I'm already right next to you guys. Yeah, you do have beautiful legs, Yana-chan. Why would you specifically go to the person who hates men? She's going to kill you. Yeah, she's going to destroy this room. She's going to like break everything in here. Not that. Wow. Like, if she had a gun, she'd just be shooting everything. Hurry! One of them's the real deal. Hurry and crush them! Alright! Wow, I'm surprised you got detective skills! I'm gonna shut you up. No one can stop my beeping ways. Oh, alright, fine, I guess we are fighting Stalk after all. I just realized... It's even brainwashed. Yeah, no, this is just Stalk. I only just realized his, like, mechanical extra things are binoculars. Jesus, say he's getting like a Tech Rave boss remix as well. But his like mechanical extra things, his left and right, they're binoculars. What is with these remixes? I kind of love how like insane they are. Okay, so it doesn't count for anything, so I'll just use normal attacks then. Yeah, if you think a Stalk isn't brainwashed, he just saw that everyone else was, and he's like, hey, I can pretend and get away with this! And then if I get beat up, just going, oh no! And it's annoying because Stalk's theme's one of the themes I actually like. And it's like, why does it have to be tied to this schmuck? You know? Ooh, I'm gonna turn off auto and get him resurrected. I know Stalk's pretty much dead anyway, but still. Okay, no, he's dead, we're fine. These remixes. Bet. These remixes go way too in. I kind of respect it. It's like, hey, we got a boss rush with these guys. Let's just make remixes that are like super like techno or rave. What was that beep? Was that a swear? Did they swear? What was that? Oh man, are we dead? Oh, uh-huh. Is this? Hello? You're all here. Did I do something again? Seems to be the same as Sweet Pea. Then you won't learn a thing. Let's go. You can't peep anymore, okay? I'm sorry. Wow, that was it? No, that was it? No extra dialogue? Just like, yeah, we got you, bitch. Don't do it again. Okay. No, like, elaborate monologue, or, like, extended apology, or explaining yourself, or telling us anything about Thorn. No, just, okay, my bad. And then that's it. Yeah, he really is fucking relevant. So the door is gone, but I can feel musician's power just beyond it. Gonna be another fight. Yeah, let's go fight Thorn. Wow, you guys actually made it this far. I thought you would have died on the way here. This is an awfully late appearance of the attention seeker. Oh, the star of the party always arrives after the nobodies. You're so low-born. I bet you've never had a full-course meal. How could you move aside? I don't eat sasami garnish. Scary as ever. He doesn't appear to be brainwashed. This is how she usually is. I wonder which of you will end up as sashimi garnish. Katana-senpai, look out! Fucking Wicked's trying to get a sneak attack on us. Stop interfering, you four-eyed child. Thanks, Naruka-chan. Hey, how can you miss after I drew their attention? Shut up, parsley garnish. Parsley! I won't be satisfied until I've killed you all. I'll chop you into pieces, so you'll always regret having turned against me. Seems like you'll have to fight two most annoying musicians. Like, Katono's like done with this. She's like, oh god, the loud motherfuckers. But that's what we have to do in order to return to the real world. We can't retreat now. Oh, I'll show you the difference between us. The only time I feel alive, and I'm crushing rodents like you. Don't underestimate a small fry. We're not gonna lose to you anymore. Was it gonna play for them? Because there's two of them. It's Wicked's lyrics currently. I've heard Wicked's theme enough to know it's Wicked's lyrics currently. But I wonder if it will like alternate to Mirei's. Alright, how the fuck are we handling this? It's one thing when it's one of them, it's a whole nother beast when there's both of them. And Wicked's lyrics, I haven't spoke about it on the stream yet, Wicked's lyrics are kind of creepy as hell for her song. Because in lore, the characters write, the musicians write and compose the songs, Mew just sings them. Wicked's, like, if she's not singing about how she hates the idea of bonds and friendship and how she thinks it's just a ridiculous thing that leads to betrayal, she's singing about disregarding or throwing away everything Mew stands for, everything that Mew believes in, solely to try and piss her off, even admitting in the song she's doing it just to try and see if she can get a reaction out of her. And if she's not doing that, she's begging to be killed. Like, her song's just creepy to listen to when you know the lyrics. Especially when it gets shouty like this, where she's basically just screaming for someone to end her life. While at the same time saying fuck everyone, Actually, can I... Oh, I can't backtrack a character. I was gonna say, I should probably, like, pin down one and just go from there. Wow, why was that fight easier than Stalk? And yet there was two of them. We just kind of rinsed that. I was expecting that one to be tough. I'll listen to this track for a second longer before we go then. Oh yeah, absolutely, it's just Wicked's theme. So Murray just kind of got shafted. Yeah, that'll do, Wicked. We've heard enough of your song. I will never go back. I refuse to acknowledge a world like that. When the Mobius cycle comes undone, everything will end. Such tenacity. I don't think they're brainwashed. They must have their own reasons. Even if we have to trample over them, we will still try to go home. We might be the cruel ones. At any rate, they probably won't be getting up for a while. Marie-chan. I'm okay. Alright, let's go. There's nothing else in this room. I'm gonna go back and save. And we can just load back here anyway, but I want to like do one last check before we dive into this with Thorn. If we can't hang out with her one last time, because I feel like the decision's gonna come up, you know? Like, we're approaching that point. So I just want to do one last check now we're here. Is it possible for us to do literally anything with Thorn? Or is the game gonna just say, aha! Aha! Ah fucking ha. The more time that passes, the more I don't understand how you feel, and the more you fade. Get together, get your sanity back. I am sane, Lucid. If we don't kill the Go Home Club, then Mobius will be in danger and I will disappear. Now that you understand the hearts of both Ostinato musicians and the Go Home Club, what are you thinking now? Who do you think is right? Wait, I won't ask that for now. If you are prepared to be with me and Mew until the end, then I'll give you the right to destroy the world with us. On the other hand, if you plan to get in my and Mew's way, I'll rip you to shreds. Consider this your official warning. Destroy the world. Trophy unlocked gold. Feelings caged in a song. Wow, that's a cool trophy. Feelings caged in a song. So I imagine that's after you get clued off that Thorn might not be who she says she is, you can come back and do that event. That's a cool-ass trophy name. Alright, but now we've maxed out everyone, we're good to go for our ending deciding. So I will make sure to leave a separate save when we get back to where we just were. So, we can see the other ending at another point. What I intend to do is, if I don't know if we're going to finish today, because I don't know how long the final dungeon is going to be. But I want to see what I can do today. If we finish today, tomorrow we'll be exploring the alternate ending. And then I'll wrap up there. And then the trophy hunting and whatnot I'll just do off screen. Oh, there's no objective marker, so I got to remember my routing. And I was just saying that I don't remember my routing in this place at all. Yeah, okay, I think I can see which way is the right way. If we don't finish it today, we will try and do both tomorrow, as in like true ending and the musician ending. The musician ending sounds like it's going to be dark as shit, though. If it's just because it's not even the musician ending. Let's be honest, it's not the musician ending. It's the Thorn ending. You know? So I'm going to save on a separate file. I'll save on file 3. I've been saving on file 2 so far, because file 1 was just before the Wicked arc. Just because there were some odd choices there that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way that could have been ending affecting. And just in case it does affect something, I left that save there. Sorrow Gate. I didn't even click on the door. Jeez. When the heck are we going to get there? It's just one fight after another, running out of energy. Judging from the size of the building, it should be soon. That's right, you were there. I won't let you continue. Oh, Kushinashi. You had a grudge against Miwasaka, didn't you? He's already dead, so you get out of my way. The thing most important to me isn't there anymore. If the existence of Mobius is going to be altered because of all of you leaving, I can't let you go. Stop it. From here I thought we could be friends. I'm thankful for that time. But I can't let you pass. She's teary-eyed. No, I don't like that my two favourite girls are like fighting. Or not fighting, but having to disagree. She doesn't want this fight either. Let's go. So she doesn't want this fight anymore. 50! Oh well, she gets in super quick on that. Yeah, I need everyone to barrier her up if they're going to survive that. Nice. Oh, we crashed. Okay, I'm just gonna shoot then. I should have called this stream Thorn's Rave. I should have called this stream Thorn's Rave. I thought I was being funny with the plucking out of Thorn stream title. I should have just called it Thorn's Rave, because that's what it is. All these boss themes are just rave parties. I think that's what I'm going to call it in post. So if you're watching this in post, I'm like, what are you on about, Rob? Yeah, the title of this stream was plucking out of Thorn, but I think I need to change it, because this has been nothing but a rave party. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. It's just funny. It's just like after everything we've been through, suddenly now they bring out all the techno raves. It's like what? Huh? I love it though. No matter what, I'll protect Mobius. Mobius is my. Why are you taking this so far? Oh no, we can't give up, right? Yeah. Surrounding area is slowly filling up with negative emotions. Does that mean Thorn and Mew are nearby? Yes, even at this very moment, Thorn is connecting negative energy from Mew. You can hear Mew's pain in her singing. Does that mean that Mew doesn't actually want to destroy reality? Let's hurry up and save her. It's been a long road, but everyone's desire for the real world has got us this far. No matter what happens, I believe in everyone's decision. Let's go see Mew and Thorn. Oh, there's another save. Oh, jeez. I'm going to save on file 3 again. And I said, once the decision's been made, I'm going to save on probably file 2, and then, like, the musician route, I'll probably save over file 1 by then, because I'll know, like, we're in position of confidence by then. So if we keep going, Mew and Thorn will be there, right? We'll put an end to it. Oh, well, I know you guys aren't doing all this for me, but thanks. Wait, what did you just say? Just don't worry about it. No, it's in text, we got you. Shogo! Oh, don't throw it in the towel already. That's right, Shogo-senpai. Let's end all this first. We can talk as much as we want afterwards. You're right. Mew and Thorn are beyond this point. There's no turning back from here. Everyone, are you ready to go back to the real world? No, let's finish this. We'll save Mew and keep our promise. Time to go back to the real world. This is the Go Home Club's last hurrah. Except we'll have the choice to betray them. Ooh! Mew! Now, everyone, let me hear you sing. Wow, she does not sound happy. I understand your pain, and I embrace it all for you. Yes, that's it, Mew. The real world can just disappear. Stop it, Natsume! Natsume? Asuka Natsume. He was the guy who was friends with me and Ichika. Man! I was able to figure out his true identity from what the musician said. Natsume, it's you, isn't it? It's been years since I was last called by that name. So you're not even like a sibling that admired the real Thorn? You're like just part of that original trio of friends? Jesus. That just, I guess, what happened? Why? Why are you doing this? Why? What a stupid question! Can you bear it? A world without Ichika? Even with Mew's power, the dead can't be resurrected. My wish to see Ichika again was never granted. That's why I got rid of myself. I stayed here in Mobius Ichika and joined with Mew to help save people's hearts. If we do that, then she'll be able to live on in this world. A savior goddess who looks like Ichika. I see now. Because you can see the rift, you. It couldn't just be her appearance. Her gestures, the way she talks, how she thinks. It had to be someone that knew Ichika well, or they wouldn't have been able to act like her. There are only 2 people who qualify, me and you. It took you a long time to realize this. That's a distorted way of thinking. That's awful. However, this will eventually come to an end as well. No matter how desperately Mew sings, Mobius won't last forever. I'm sure you've all seen it. This world is distorted, filled with rifts. It's surprising that it still holds together. That's why, as Ichika lives on in this world, I have to destroy the reality that killed her. So selfish. You've gone crazy. He's insane. You have no idea. You who ran away from Ichika, you wouldn't know. We should have done this sooner, Mew. Cut down this despair-filled world. Erase it all. Break the real world. Oh! Oh. Well, what just happened? Where did Mew go? Is that metaverses? The core of the internet that turned into a collective unconsciousness for humanity, right? The destruction will begin shortly. Despair will finally be eliminated. Jesus Christ, are you sure this isn't Nagato? We can't let her go, we have to stop her. We should go to metaverses. Let's go to Limbo, yeah, sure, because Thorn's absolutely going to let us just pass by. Oh, is this the choice? Is this the choice? Side with Thorn or side with the Go Home Club? It is, isn't it? Yeah, this is it. This is the choice. This is pick your side. This is either stick with the Go Home Club and work towards golden ending, or side with Thorn. And you know what I'd like? You guys might not recall this, because I think it was only session 1 I showed this. This is mirroring the title screen. Literally. On the title screen, you can see the feet of your character walking, but they're on the right side and the screen's white. Whilst now it's black and they're on the left side. It's literally mirroring it. That's clever. The title screen's teasing at this. So it's literally returns. So that's literally your ending choice. I'm going for the golden ending on my first run, but we will come back to do the Thorn ending. I see. There's the choice you made, then there is nothing more I can say. I'll erase you, along with this worthless reality. I won't let you interfere with Mew. I'm going to keep you all here so you can watch the real world is destroyed. It'll be quite an honor to die alongside her. Yeah, I wasn't going to laugh like that. Shogo, let's do this. Let's do this, President. A world of only suffering and sadness, and a world of only happiness and joy. Natsumi, thanks to you, I know why it's distorted here. Happiness and sadness, suffering and joy, two sides of the same coin. It's a world that has both. You and I both have to stop running away and just face her already. Accept that she died. Let's go home, Natsume, to the world where she was. I won't let anyone take away my wish. My happiness. I won't let anyone take Ichika away. Disappear, Shogo. Disappear, you rogue, stealing happiness from everyone. Alright, Thorn time. I had a feeling, with how much of like a rave party remix every other track was, I was like, I bet Thorn's theme's gonna be like all in as well. So I'm just gonna enjoy the beat for a minute. Oh, it almost felt like it was like breaking down then for a second there. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Like there? Let's try that. So wait for it. Everyone got. Got again. Nice. Ooh, okay, she's quite on the aggressor, got it. So we'll have to pay attention to every choice we make. Yeah, she's super damn aggressive. Then I'm gonna prep a heal now, just to make sure we're on top of that. I need to space you out just a little bit. I'll put you over here. Oh, jeez. Okay, that drill attack's like just a slayer. Okay, we got her. Okay. Oh, that's not the only downside. That fight, she should have had way more health. Because that was like a cool thing with the fighting. Like, you know, she was like super hyper aggressive and she could rinse us if you like drop your guard for a second. But then she died. You know, you're like, oh. Trophy unlocked, the unwavering feeling. Natsume. So that's the catharsis effect. Amazing. I feel like my mind's been cleared up. What am I doing? Please stop Mew, Shogo. Because of my hatred for you, I changed Mew. I did a horrible thing. There's still time. Everyone will take care of Mew somehow. I hope so. What are you planning to do? Well, Mew isn't present here in Mobius. This body is the same with that as a normal person. Can't be saved if I jump. What you couldn't do, I'll do for you. I'll die with her. Natsume! Stop! Don't traumatize this guy again. Calm down. Please calm down, Shogo-senpai. Shogo, get a hold of yourself. If we don't catch up to Mew, the world will be in danger. Jesus Christ, Shogo. I didn't want to say his lines, because that actor's going in. What do we do? Get a grip. Slap him. Fuck, I headbutted him! I headbutted him! Oh, he grabbed me by his collar and slammed my head into him. Oh, Jesus. The protagonist in this game is phenomenal. She's such a tomboy to such an extent. Like, to such a radical extent. It's brilliant. But President! Wow, that looked painful to them both. They seem to be very effective. I was expecting like to slap him or punch him or something, not headbutt him. Shogo-senpai. But you're right, Shogo. Is it okay? Why did you headbutt me that hard? Yeah, even Shogo was like, wait, why headbutt? You really are stubborn. It's payback for that one time. You mean that time we first met? Surprised you remember that. But I've awakened. Thank you. Oh, you're right. He did headbutt me at the start of the game. I completely forgot about that. Alright, let's follow Mew into metaverses. We can return to the real world and live on. Yeah, let's put an end to this. So that's the choice, and it leads to a different final boss. I'm super curious, like, does metaverses change? Like, is it a different final dungeon sort of thing in that sense? Oh my goodness. Mew's goth arc. Listen to me, Mew. If you destroy the real world, maybe everyone will disappear. You don't want to do that, do you? Wake up, Mew. Destroy the real world? Everyone's wishes? No, destroying the real world won't make anyone happy. I can hear them. Their tortured voices telling me how painful it is to live. Are we just going to dive straight in? There isn't... Oh, we might actually... If we're just going to dive straight in and then it's the ending, we might do both perspectives, like, today. So I thought there'd be another dungeon yet. That's proof that you're living. You know pain and suffering. That's how you know what happiness is. I want to free everyone from the world filled with despair. We just thought that the real world only had pain and suffering, but we all must have had good things happen too. That's right. We cried and laughed with our friends. There were good things too. Because we're weak, I'm sure there will be times we want to run away. But if we keep running, we'll eventually be out of places to run and hide. Why are you getting in the way of everyone's happiness? It doesn't make sense. You guys were all asking for help. You were all screaming that you wanted to run away. So why? Yeah, you're right. We're being selfish. Sorry, we realized that we weren't solving anything by continuing to get help from you. So take a break, Mew. We'll continue living in hell. I won't let you interfere any further. If you're going to reject everyone's wishes, then disappear. She's coming, everyone. Please stop Mew. Alright, final boss time, I guess. Let's go, guys. Alright. Yeah. Leave it to us. You're not included, dude. Neither are you. Understood. Let's end this. Everyone gets their last line, huh? It really is a JRPG final boss. I'm sorry, Mew. Okay. Yes. I'll do my best. Look at the gang. Oh, I was like, oh, I'm going to take a screenshot. I forgot. There's a recording block. I can't take a screenshot, so I'll have to screenshot that on my phone and I'll watch the archive later. Alright, final boss time, I assume. Let's listen to this final boss theme. I feel like I've spent half this playthrough just kind of reviewing the music as we go, but it's so musically powered, I feel like I have to. You know what this final boss, and actually Mew as a whole, kind of reminds me of? Was her name like Elmira? I don't think it was. I'm trying to remember her name. From the final boss of Sophie 2. Where it's like an innocent, sweet soul that wants the best in the world, that just gets warped by trying to take all the nasty shit from the world to make the people have a happier life. It literally is the same sort of idea. Elmira, Elvira, one or the other. It's a similar idea, you know, a character that makes of like a fictional world to try and make the world a happier place, takes all the negative shit for themselves and ends up overwhelming them. It's the same sort of idea, it's the same sort of final boss. I wonder if she's going to be as hard. Oh, that's a guard. Okay, that does... Okay, that works. But Mew's already halfway down. God damn it, it's the final boss. They need to, like, make the bosses stronger in the next game. I swear to God. Look, she's already halfway down. She's going to die. Yeah, she dies on the next hit. That's not my biggest gripe with the bosses. I love the fact they own unique remixes. I like that you get these lyrics and all these cool songs and things like that. Man, why are all the bosses like so weak? Because the attack, like if we let it play out, the attack she was going to do to us was going to do like 100 damage. Look at our health. I don't feel like I'm just over-leveled, right? Like, it's not just that, right? It's literally just that the bosses aren't hard. But I don't know how much it will change on hard or extreme, because I'm playing on normal, but it shouldn't be this easy for normal. Like, if it's gonna be like this, I might, in like the sequel, I might play the sequel on hard, just to try and like add an extra challenge, because this is like, these bosses just kind of fly by too much. Unless there's a second phase. Let's find out. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be scared. I'll release you from pain and sadness and despair. That's what everyone wished for. I'm giving my best so they can all get what they want. Or maybe there's a phase 2. Oh, there is a phase 2. Thank goodness. Level 55! Oh, now it's more like it. The game heard me. Wow, she's charging that up for a lifetime. Did you see that? What happens if I shoot after it activates? Is it a counter? Look at that. Look how much she just charges that fucking thing up. Like, what's going on? Song of Destruction. Oh. Never mind, look at her health already. God damn it. This will probably kill. Yep. Ugh. Don't everyone wish for the real world's destruction? It's not scary. It'll be okay. Trophy unlocked. Wishes end. Mew! Aria! Finally, we finally caught you. I was about to do something terrible. It's okay now. Is everyone here? All these people. So she's no longer under the influence of those negative emotions. We just had to beat it out of her. I was so nervous what would happen with Mew, to see Mew in the real world. I'm so glad. They're both safe. It was nothing but the go home club. But are you sure everything's okay? Isn't the real world painful and filled with suffering? I mean, yeah, but we have to live with it, Mew. Well, that's true. Even after you return home, you won't be able to solve all of our individual problems. There's no guarantee everything will go smoothly back in the real world. We'll still likely suffer pain and hardship. But it's okay. We decided that we're fine with that suffering. And amidst the suffering, I'm sure your singing will provide us with relief. Mew. I see. Like Arya said, I should have listened to her. Be okay. After all, we were able to reunite you with Arya-chan. You two can just continue existing happily together. A collective of misfits like us made it this far, then. Yeah, you're right. Alright, then we'll work together, okay, Mew? We need to send all the people in Mobius back to the real world. What's going to happen to Mobius once everyone's back in the real world? It'll disappear, of course. Wait, what's going to happen to you guys? We won't be able to see you again. Kotaro. Don't worry. We'll just revert to how we were. We'll continue to invigorate everyone from the metaverses. Arya and I will both remain close to you forever. Yep. I'll go back to having a nice body and singing for everyone. Yeah, we haven't seen your original form at all yet, Arya. We'll continue to listen to your songs when we're back in the real world. Well then, Arya, let's send everyone back to the real world. Whoops! We have something important to do before that. I'm really glad you came to Mobius. Oh, thanks. It was nice and comfy staying in your pocket, too. Because of your leadership at the Go Home Club, you're able to reach Mew, so thank you. Oh, if only you knew. If only you knew that I was playing both sides. Bye, everyone. If you're in trouble, be sure to let me know. Thanks to you guys, I was able to start over. I appreciate the help. I won't forget the times we spent together in Mobius. I'll never forget them either. I'll continue to compose music when I get back, so please enjoy singing along to my songs. And I'll be sure to share all of your songs. Arya, Mew, let's meet again. Despite everything, I had fun. Take care. Say something, President. We will always be the Go Home Club. Yeah, I'll never forget you guys either. Thank you, everyone. And that's just it? It just ends? Wow, talk about you. Yep, you're done. Bye. It's like, yep, you're done. Congratulations. Bye. See ya, bitch. What? Huh? And here's the credits song, huh? How do I feel? This game, like, you know I don't like giving scores. This game is like the epitome of like what people would call the good 7 out of 10s. Which you don't know what I'm talking about. There's just this brand of games where it's like they don't like get like the masterclass reviews and all that stuff. Hang on, were the protagonists voiced by siblings? Look, Sawashiro. Interesting. But like these kind of games where they don't review that well, they've got problems, they're kind of clunky, but the game's super fun anyway. That's what this game is. This entire game is that. Like, every time I've like we were streaming it, every time we were working on it, every time we were like, you know, figuring things out, the characters and whatnot, everything is super flawed, but it's so fun you don't care. You know? 7.5, yeah, actually, one man, you probably got it on the head. 7.5 is probably the perfect score to give it. Like, everything's good, everything's enjoyable. There's just a bunch of little things that, like, stop it being, like, this masterclass. I adore the character writing, but what the fuck happened with EG? You know? Like, I adore the dungeon design, but what the hell was the library? I thought the villains were great, and then there's Storm. You know, like, everything is, there's really good, there's really got going, and then something just kind of misses the mark a little. Like, with EG, it was just because he dies off screen. Why set up so much? Like, we were adamant, like, both of us, we were adamant he was going to be the final boss. It just seemed like that's where it was going. But no, you get rid of him from the party, and that's the last you see of him. Yeah, I'm noticing something in the credits. Have you noticed it yet? There are an awful lot of the characters' names in the people that made the game. So I wonder if that's intentional. Like, there seems to be a bunch of names I've spotted so far that, like, we've seen a Marie. I saw an EG just a second ago. I saw a Katono earlier. Like, I feel like like select members of the staff are basically just the name of the characters. Which, if that's the case, that's kind of cute that the dev team would do that for like their staff, like almost like seal them in history like that. But what do I want for the sequel? Gameplay-wise, auto-locking would be nice. It's the same gripe I had with Ryza 2. If you kill an enemy in a combo, you shouldn't then just attack thin air. You should auto-alter and alt. I like how the special thanks says Kiryu. That's funny. It should auto-target a next enemy. Additionally, I don't like how the characters are all like outside of the first three you get, as in Protag, Shogo, and I forget what her name, the archer girl who was a mother. The other name that's 6 letters that starts with a K, which is why I got muddled. Like those three are like perfect standard fit and standard effects, but everyone afterwards is kind of gimmicky. And so I kind of didn't like that. Like it's okay having gimmicks with the characters, but they should be more to them than that. Also, now I'm guessing on the Overdose extra of the team. Like we've seen the original credits, now it's the expanded team. Thanks, Nis America. This credits theme's a banger, by the way. I don't know if... I think you guys are about to hear it. Hang on. Yeah, I think it's just a remix of several different songs. Because I can hear 4 singers, by the way. I've noticed that. But yeah, Arc System Works helped out with this game as well, which is crazy. Speaking of Arc System Works, I didn't actually talk about it, so it'd be my pinned comment. That Guilty Gear Strive basically announced both of their last 2 characters for Season 2. That being Bedman, and Asuka. I don't like Bedman, so I'm like, yeah, it's cool that he's in it, but he's not my character. Asuka's a brand new character, though, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, this game's great. The music's amazing, but it's mishandled sometimes. I think that's like we can all agree on that one. Like, there's a lot of moments where like, the track's great, but it just kind of is like, Oh. Didn't think your conversation would still be left on wire. Yeah, it's unbelievable, huh? I think Mew and Arya left this here for us. Oh, so everyone can still be in communications with each other even after they left. I'm sure of it. That's cute. We can all meet again, right? Great Storm says middling execution. Yeah. There might be some people that look different than in Mobius. Are you all still okay with that? Because Katona will be a bit older, be a mother. Of course, no matter what you look like, how old you are, we're going to be friends forever, right? Kataro is going to be shorter. Mifue is going to not be as thin. How can you say embarrassing things so easily? Well, I'm already used to it. Sorry I asked something so senseless. Hey, do you want to meet up with everyone at Cypariso next weekend? Sounds good. Please let us see, like, the real-world version of all the characters. I don't mind. Oh, there you are, Zuru. I'm in. All the boys need to stay away from me. Ayana. Don't laugh even if you see me. Yep. I need a fucking image. Yeah, I do. I'm starting to get nervous. It's like the Persona 4 Golden ending. I'll need to see them when they're all together. When everyone's together, let's take a photo together. You need to participate too, President. If President isn't there, it won't be a go-home club gathering. Yes, there's no way. President has to be there. You can use my name! If you're called upon, you have to show up. Can I go too? Aria! Oh, will we see human form Aria? Oh! Oh, it's each of the characters. It says all the characters. So I didn't realise until I saw her with the child. That was, yeah. There's Mifui getting a fitness. I'm trying to get a fitness in order. There's the shy girl wanting to get lunch with someone. There's our little nerd. Yeah, there's Mafuri being eataholic again. What? Is that EG? Oh! Yeah, that's Shadow Knife. Yep, I had a feeling. Take a photo when everyone gets together. You have to join in, President. If you're not there, it won't be going for fuck. Okay, so I know it's the messages, but damn, that went fast. Oh, there's Mew and Human Aria. Oh wow, that's the ending scene. You don't get to see their faces, you just get impressions, basically. That's an interesting way of doing it. Like, you don't see their faces, but you could work out who was who in that scene, in those scenes. Congratulations on clearing the game. You can now select NG Plus on the title screen. Select NG Plus and load the save data after clearing the game. You can carry over your levels and causality links and replay the game from the beginning. Level adjustments now available. The ability to increase enemy levels has been added to the options menu. That's cool. It was unsatisfying. Yeah, it was a bit odd. You get enough of the impression it's like everyone did carry on with their lives, but that was a bit... I'm more gutted that we didn't get to see Human Aria. I wanted to see like a full model. That was my score. Oh, nah, I'm not that fussed by it. It's just a unique take on the ending. I thought we weren't going to get a post-game credit scene, so my score doesn't change. So I don't do scores. It's like, this game's still like that kind of like thing, where it's a fun game with problems. This is cool, though. That's replayability. You can crank the levels as much as you want. Feel enemies aren't strong enough, you can make them more powerful. When you load clear data from the title screen, you'll start just before the last battle. Would you like to save? Yeah. I will save over file 1, and then I'll load file 3, and we'll experience the other ending. Yeah, Paramount. Yeah, but I got enough out of the ending. I said the ending still fits into the exact same condition of everything else. It's good, but there's problems. Don't to the title screen. You know? Oh, you're gonna hear Fuyu!
Furyu.
There it is. So this is the title screen that I see every time. See what I mean? Like how it paralleled from that one thing. Oh, you can just view the credits from here now. Right, we've got time. Let's go see the other ending. Now we know how it works. Let's see the other ending. So I'm going to load from that save, and then we're going to side with Thorn and see what happens. Mew and Thorn beyond this point, there's no turning back. Everyone, you ready to return to the real world? Let's finish this. We'll save Mew and keep our promise. Time to go back to the real world. It's the Go Home Club's last hurrah, except no it isn't. Mew! I'll follow this through again. Now everyone, let me hear you sing. I understand your pain, and I embrace it all for you. Yes, that's it, Mew. The real world can just disappear. This also means I don't know what I'm streaming tomorrow, so I'll have to figure that one out. Stop it, Natsume. Natsume? Asuka Natsume. He was the guy who made friends with me and Ichika. A man? I was able to figure out his true identity from what the musician said. Natsume, it's you, isn't it? It's been years since I was last called by that name. The real thing I want to know is that was the golden ending we saw. What's the difference between the golden ending and the normal ending? Other than the fact that EG will be alive. I imagine something different will happen. Because Iji only got exiled and then ended up in that place he was to die because we sent him there and everything happened as is, you know? Like, would someone else die there instead? You know? Like, would like, it'd be a normal ending because, like, you know, Iji, a problem, lives. That's kind of something that I'd be curious to find out in my own time when I do the other playthrough. Well, that name. What happened? Why? Why are you doing this? Why? What a stupid question. Can you bear it, a world without Ichika? Even in Mew's power, the dead can't be resurrected. My wish to see Ichika again was never granted. That's why I got rid of myself. I stayed here in Mobius as Ichika and joined with Mew to help save people's hearts. If we don't do that, then she'll be able to live on in this world. A savior goddess that looks like Ichika. I see now. Because you see the rift, you. Couldn't just be her appearance. Her gestures, the way she talks, how she thinks. It would be someone who knew Ichika well, or wouldn't be able to act like her. The only two people would qualify, me and you. It took you a long time to realize this. That's a distorted way of thinking. That's awful. However, this will eventually come to an end as well. No matter how desperately Mew sings, Mobius won't last forever. I'm sure you've all seen it. This world is distorted, filled with rifts, and it's surprising that it still holds together. That's why, as Ichika lives on in this world, I have to destroy the reality that killed her. So selfish, you've gone crazy. He's insane. You've no idea. You who ran away from Ichika, you wouldn't know. We should have done this sooner. Mew, cut down this despair-filled world. Erase it all. Break the real world. Yeah, and we're gonna get, like, corrupt Mew again. What just happened? Where did Mew go? Is that metaverses? Or the internet's that turned into the collective unconsciousness of humanity, right? The destruction will begin shortly. Despair will finally be eliminated. Can't let her go, we have to stop her. We should go to metaverses. Alright, now let's be a bad guy. Let's join Thorn. Because basically what it says, it's not the musician's ending. I don't know why they call it that. It's the Thorn ending. I won't go home to the real world. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is the dark and mood. Yeah, oh! What did you say? I knew you'd be the trump card. Lucid. Damn! You! The president was the musician? What's the meaning of this? What's going on? Can't be. All this time. All this time you were playing us. Why'd you do this, President? I believed you. We believed in you. Oh, Jesus Christ. I already regret this. I already regret this hard. I see. So you've been deceiving us this entire time. Music video 5. The epitome of I can't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm sorry, Kotaro. I freaking love it. Trophy unlocked. Friends of a past life. Everyone, I know you're in pain, but lend me your power to defeat them. Do it, Arya. The fastest effect. Overdose. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fascinating. You're all essentially monsters. Can you still recover from such a release? Like hell I know. We'll think about it after we kill you all. That's the pain I feel from being betrayed. This is nothing. I'm sorry, Katana. I won't forgive you. We'll never forgive you. Ah. Let's do this, Lucid. Destroy Shogo Satake and the Go Home Club and reality. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. It's okay. Don't say anything. You must have had your reasons. Yeah. You must have. Must be a really good reason to betray us like this, right? I believed in you. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have trusted you. I'm a fool. Please, tell me it's a lie. You're lying, right? You came to save me. You made sure I wasn't alone. Please tell me you're lying. No, I feel guilty as shit. Assault, like, I've said it many times before, but I genuinely sympathize with video game characters more than I do, like, real people. It's because it's, like, video games was always my escapism when I was a kid, especially when, like, I was going through, like, troubling shit in life, regardless of what it was. So I deeply sympathize and empathize with video game characters a lot. I feel like I've betrayed them. I feel like I've let them down. So this sucks. I knew it was coming, but it hurts harder than I thought it was. This actually really fucking sucks for me. Like, this genuinely, like, sucks. Like, this hurts. I thought you were protecting me, so that was all a lie? I should have done this ending first. Hey, come at me, you. Yo. I don't feel any better until I punch you. You sound like fucking Kaito from V3. I won't feel better until I've knocked some sense into you. How could you do this? What are you trying to pull? This is out of whack. He gets a tail off for that. Yeah, that's fair enough. I thought you were my own family. Yeah, he called me a little sister to him. Ah. Oh, am I fighting them alone? Oh. Oh, shit. Alright, let's see what this looks like. This music's kind of creepy. Oh, it's a remix of Suicide Prototype. It's a remix of our track. It's our boss mix. Uh-oh. Caligula, the final boss is you. Uh-oh. Hey, dude. Wow, that did, like, no damage. This remix is kind of... Well, I guess it... Uh-oh. Hey, we could talk about this. Ow! Oh! Ow! Oh, my legs! Oh, my heart! Ow! 91 damage, Jesus Christ. Oh god, here we go. Ow! Experience. Wow, the game's like, no, fuck you. The game's like, fuck you. No, you don't get to get any satisfaction out of this. Next wave, huh? Yep, that's it. Okay, at least it's not all at once. I think that would be a bit extreme. I'll never forgive you. You've been deceiving us this whole time. We were working so hard. How does it feel to dupe us, make us like utter morons? Did everything go as you'd planned? You know that I want to go home and apologize to my mum, President. Don't get in my way! I'm sorry, Mifuri. So everything was a lie, but we worked so hard that we could go home together. See, you're being controlled by Thorn. That has to be it. Because you'd never betray us. Just you wait. I'll help you return to normal. You're a terrible human being. I've seen a lot of assholes in my life, but this is the first time seeing someone this ugly on the inside. Ayana, no, you were my girlfriend! We came this far because we believed in you. We worked together to go back to agonizing reality. Do you not give a shit at all? No! Don't say that! I loved you! Oh no! Oh, why is that the confession? No! Yana, no! Oh, now I feel even worse! The shit I do for a fucking trophy! Ayana, just run away. I'll spare you. Just run away, please. Don't get in my way. No! You know what the worst part is? Is the fact that these aren't hard fights at all. Like, this is the only opportunity, the only time where it being easy makes sense. Ayana, please get out of my... Ayana... She keeps on getting in the way. She's gonna die first. Fucking goddammit. Like, get out the way, Ayana. I don't want to hurt you. Uh-oh. Ow, Jesus! And it's also, like, arguably, like, almost, like, symbolic that, like, this, you know, when you take this bad end, you become, like, this incarnation of death, and then you literally can't be stopped. Like, everyone's doing, like, negative damage to you, almost. The 10 experience. Oh, that was heart-wrenching. Man, this is like taking the Adachi ending in Persona 4. Like, you just feel like shit afterwards. You taught me so many things. So this is what you call hatred. It's nauseating. This is the worst feeling. This must be a joke. I thought you were my friend. Never expected this. So I betrayed the musicians, and then you betrayed the Go Home Club. How amusing. So you don't care about how we feel? You don't care about the people who believed in you and followed you? I refuse to give up here. I'm different than I was before. Don't you think your plan's just going to go your way that easily? Oh, just these two. Oh, are we saving Shogo for last? Ow! Oh, God! Oh! Look at me flat on the fucking ground from that. Ah! Okay, maybe let's not do that strategy. When Uzuru gets up, he's absolutely gonna ult us. Oh, he's not. Oh, he's trying to combo us. Uh-oh. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. Ow, ow. Can I have my turn yet? Ow, ow. Oh, we're gonna get ulted. Let's do that. It literally just said there we're about to get ulted, so I need to try and get... Oh, no. Did we ever see Kensuke's ultimate? I don't think we did. But hey, now we know that Ayama genuinely fell in love with the femme protagonist. That just tells me that in the true ending, they end up together. So there's a positive that we can get out of this. Yeah, it is Shogo last. How long have you been deceiving us? From the first time we met? Were you laughing behind our backs this whole time? We're basically a bunch of clowns. I was prepared to live in the real world again thanks to you. Okay. So I'm not even going to let him do the ultimate. I'm sorry, Shogo. Fall in with Iana. No implication between subject, just straight up confesses. Yeah. Well, I mean, she was never subtle. Yeah, no. You can't say she was subtle. Remember her like final rank scene when we was going through it, where she just says like, "Hey, I'm more into girls. So, President, what's your type?" And he's like, "Wow, there's no subtlety in that. She's into the President." Ugh. Now what? Oh God. I never knew such a terrible human could exist. I'm sorry, Arya. Humans are such selfish and awful creatures. Mew. Stop her. Everyone, I'm sorry. How pathetic. Oh no. Ugh. Why were they chosen? Why is it them? Why? Why? Stop it. Why? We're going after Arya, Lucid. We're both wrong. We were the final boss all along, Che. Well, in this one, in main route, it's Mew. It's alright, right? It's all alright, right? Also, once again, everything to do with like seeing things from the musician's side of things. You know, outing EG's true nature and this ending was only added in the Overdose version of the game. In the original release, you just went through the game. In the original release, you just went through the game. You didn't do any of the musician stuff. You didn't do any of the Lucid stuff. You didn't like get to know the villains when they were showed up. You just did the dungeon, went on to the next one, carry on so forth. And you can still get that experience after, I think it was either the first or second dungeon, whichever one it was. I think it was the second. When Thorn reaches out to you and asks you to try to see things from her perspective, you can just turn her down. And then it's just the normal game from that point onwards. Music goes hard, by the way. Share. This is all part of the plan, right? It has to be. So it's the final boss. Well, the actual final fight. Was it technically Shogun? Uh-oh. Oh shit, we actually get to see her in human form. Listen to me, Mew. If you destroy the real world... Destroy reality. Everyone's wishes. No! No one will be happy if you do that. Please open your eyes, Mew. can hear them. Everyone's pained voices. Voices that suffer to live. Stop it, Mew. If you don't, I'll... I want to release everyone from the world full of despair. I want everyone to be like Nagita. No, that's not what she said. You can also tell this is extra content because it's not an anime scene. It's just like... I'll kill you! Jesus Christ, Arya! There she is. Arya, don't get in Mew's way. You. Won't forgive you. Poor Mew. You'll die and disappear. Did someone say a hand? Jesus! Oh, why do I have to fight this final boss alone? Also, music? This is a final boss theme, shit! Couple, I'll find. I don't think this is the usual singer. Is this supposed to be Arya's song, then? To be fair, Arya gets the more aggressive theme, because Mew was just trying to stop us getting in the way. Arya's trying to kill us. Like, there's the difference. And this also, and I've been saying this all game as well, any new track added for Overdose feels like it's way better than the main game music. Suicide Prototype, the revenge boss fight when you fight your teammates, now this. This is just like, hey, they've got more experience making the music now. You know, this synth between the original release and Overdose. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ, this track! My ear like twigs the riff, and I was like, "Whoa, hang on a minute." Alright, once I'm done streaming today, I know what I'm doing. I'm looking up this fucking track. This is insanely good. This is a proper final boss theme. And I imagine that's the loop. I think it needs to be like there. But yeah, I'm absolutely looking up this track as soon as we're done. This track's absurdly good. And I know I probably don't have to guard any of this, because of just, you know, how not difficult this game is, but I'm trying to make it a personal challenge to see how much I can get away with not being damaged. Oh no. Oh, it hits twice. So I need to do that, and then I'll Soul Surge. Damn, I let it go too late. Fuck, now I'm getting beat up. Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, if you do actually have to guard. If you don't, you get beat up for it. Man, just single best track, holy crap. Yeah, I'm just letting it go. If you wonder why I'm not talking much, because I'm just letting the music do its thing, because this track's great. I am gonna heal just to be on the safe side. Oh, that was a good choice. That was a good choice to heal. Ow! Actually, I'm gonna heal again just to be on the safe side. I need to get ready to guard that. Yeah, because they come in hard and fast. And then I'll heal to be on the safe side. You're dead. Gee. I'll let this bit rip again for a second, and then we'll continue. But yeah, Arya wins. If you want to ask me which character has the best song, Arya wins. Best, they saved the best for last. Trophy unlocked, the one who reverts all to zero. Ah, everyone! I'm sorry. No, why? Why did I give you? We did it. We did it! The music's still ripping, I'm like, they know, they're like, yeah, let it go, let it play. Ah, just as the riff was on the go. The government spoke on the power plant. This is unbelievable. Dam holds water of patch town flowing murky. The hemorrhaging fevers have appeared have spread of no effect vaccination. Death toll has reached merely in weeks. And everyone dies. So yeah, your reward is that you get a sick-ass final boss name, but the rest of it is just everyone dies. Oh god, now what? Hey, it's the opening of the game again. Hey, it's all the musicians. Oh, why is Toad next to Kusunashi? I don't like that. Last night, prefect city, pedestrians died in accident. The driver, the cause of the accident. Kensuke. The culprit, 45, has been arrested on counts of... However, Ninagawa was to hospital syndrome. Is that credit? Oh no, it's not still going. This has been news. According to announcement from the patient count suffering from has surpassed 1 million within the nation. Police are investigating the cause of the fire at hospital near medical center and could be the same hospital has Astral's patients. Oh, this is creepy. Yeah, as everyone dies, more and more people vanish. This is creepy as shit. It's believed to be frequent cases of astral syndrome may be related to... That's creepy as shit. There's more people... Yeah. And then it's just left... Oh, why is everyone gone? Jeez. Mew, no. Oh god, I don't like that. Why did you go too? Didn't I make you happy? Fuck. Yes. And that's... Oh, wow. That is miserable. Wow, that is miserable. Let's get this... Get me the fuck out of here. Is that a post-credit scene? Congratulations on clearing the game. Yeah, I don't fucking feel it. You can now... No. Hidden elements are now available. When you load a clear data, Mew will appear in a certain location. You should find her and speak with her. Oh, interesting. Wow, that is a miserable ending. So let me get this straight. Good ending. You saved the day. Mew and Arya come to an understanding. They're in everyone's minds. You live out the day. Like, you hang out with your girlfriend and all's well that ends well. Evil ending. You kill all your friends, Dugda style from Shin Megami Tensei. Have a sick-ass final boss theme, and then have like the most miserable, like, lonely ending possible, because you literally are the last one left. That cut into black was you dying and leaving Mew all alone. She's the only one left in that world. That's miserable. Wow. Fuck that. I just realized... Hang on, let me back up for a sec. I just realized, look, now we've done both endings. Look at the reflection in the water. Now we've done both endings. Lucid's in the reflection of the water. I only just noticed that. That's... Oh, jeez. Alright, I'm gonna load the save. What on earth is it on about Mew being somewhere? It might only be in NG+, but I want to look around. It might also, you know, require that you save. Let me have a look around. Well, if I come back here, can I find Mew somewhere, sort of thing? Oh god, this theme. Right. I'm not staying. I don't want to listen to this fucking theme. But I can't see her on the main floor. She's probably around somewhere. Anyway, let me have a look at my trophy list before I wrap. But I am going to wrap here. That was a miserable ending. Okay. The trophies I am missing. I have got beat the story is both male and female. So, like I said, the male run I'll do off screen. Do 100 side quests. I've done 1. Solve the mystery of the 21 class leader. That one's like, I don't know what that's about. I have to look into it. Solve the enigmas. And one more. Where is it? It wasn't on the quick list. So that means it was a secret trophy. So I need to scroll down and find it. Oh no, that's it. Never mind. I thought there was more. No, it's just those 4 trophies. Yeah, so that's it. I just got to beat the game again and 100% it. But the second run, I'll just do that like off screen, because it's usually just going to run through it again, but as the male pro tag. This, let me go back to the title screen, if I can, and I'll give my final thoughts and then I'll wrap. All in all, yeah, great game. I really enjoy it. It's a flawed but fun game, and I think it's definitely worth giving a shot. And I enjoy the characters. I really enjoy the characters, Jesus Christ. I think the villains really work for the most part. There's a couple forgettable names, but most of them are really fun. The music is all over the place, but I love the ambition it has. And I want to see like how the sequel expands on everything. This game is like, I can absolutely recommend it, but you have to go into it knowing it's not gonna be perfect. I think if you go in, because it's like I said, it's clearly, there's inspiration taken from Persona, it's obvious as you play it. If you go in expecting it to be like Persona, you might just disappoint yourself in certain aspects. I think the way better choice is to try and literally, like, understand it's not going to be all there. Like, even the art style's not perfect. Like, nothing's going to be, like, to the highest quality. Go in just as it is and appreciate it for what it is, and you'll love it. If you go in expecting it to be, like, the next big thing, this next amazing JRPG or whatever, no, you're gonna probably think it's not that good or just straight up bad. I've mentioned it before, but I got this game back in 2019, played it for like an hour and put it down. I'm so glad I came back and gave it a second shot. But that's what I mean. When I first went through it, I just didn't vibe with it. I didn't give it the fair chance. But then when I did this time around, I loved it. I will say, though, the opening dungeon isn't a great opening dungeon. Come on, with PS Plus, brilliant. That's awesome. The opening dungeon of this game, it's a little too long in the tooth, and it's like the shortest track in the game. I was so sick to death of after 5 hours. Which is weird, because the tone and like feel of the first dungeon is so different from the rest of the game. Right? Like, is that safe for me to say? Like, the first dungeon has like a pretty like happy-go-lucky vibe for the whole thing, and then the rest of the game is just like pseudo-Persona. And then the library sucks, as I said before. The library dungeon I thought was the low point, because it's just a maze that goes on for ages. Best dungeon I still think was the first C. Pariso dungeon, the temple. I thought that was brilliant. Thorn's dungeon was great. Even if it was also maze like and a little confusing. I liked the enemies, I liked the music, I liked the boss rush style of it. Favorite character of the go home side was Iyama easily, and I like the fact that she, actually has romantic interest in the pro tag, which I looked into it, only happens to play as a female pro tag. She literally only swings that way, like you can't romance her if you play as the guy, which I think that's just a cool detail. Favorite character of the musicians, Kushinashi / Kurumi, but I do have a soft spot for Marie. I kind of like just that she was just a complete psycho. She was just a nice, like, different character, She was insane, but it was just a nice, different vibe, But outside of the musicians and the main cast, Mew is like one of the best sidekick / antagonist characters I've had the experience of enjoying in a while. When you're as the Lucid, she's a phenomenal little sidekick that's just in your corner, and it's just a little buddy that wants the best of the world and just kind of brightens the mood. Yet as an antagonist, I said before, she reminds me a lot, when you consider how she ends up as the final boss, of the final boss of Sophie 2. Where in both instances, it's like a being with immense power to make a new realm, tries to make a new realm to make a happier place for everyone, but gets it wrong. And eventually that negative emotion or negative force overpowers them and makes them the final boss. It's the same sort of deal. But, as much as I absolutely adore Sophie 2, I kind of preferred this one. maybe that's weird. Like, on a technical level, I'd probably say Sophie 2 wrote it better, but in terms of just enjoying it, I adored Mew. And my hopes for the sequel is basically just take this formula and expand. There's some like jank here and there, but even if the sequel still has some of that jank, I wouldn't mind. I just want to see them like reach for the stars with this. I want to see how far they're prepared to take this and see where it ends up. But that's going to do from me. This game is really fun, and I'm really glad I gave it a shot. I love the characters. I can't wait to see where it goes next. But when we next meet in the JRPG field, it'll be finally time for Rise of Frey, which will be a couple weeks from now. So we'll get to the sequel to this after Rise of Frey. As always, though, thank you so much for watching me, and so thank you for sticking through it, because this game's pretty damn long, and it's like, what, session 11? Yeah, that's kind of a long stretch to stick with this bizarre Persona-esque RPG. So thank you for that as well. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. It genuinely goes a very long way. You can always find me on Twitter or Patreon through the description of every video if you feel so inclined. And I will see you tomorrow I will figure that one out and update the schedule. On the community tabs, I can edit at any time, so I will probably just edit that when I've figured out what I'm going to do. I might just push Resident Evil Code Veronica forward, but we'll see what mood I'm into tomorrow. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.